Doing some trying.
And we are live. Good morning.
Hey, morning, guys. Morning, Abby.
Good morning.
How we
Let me
doing?
get this link real quick.
Let's push it out. Let's give it a few. This is unstoppable.
Cool. And we are.
How can I see the chat, by the way?
So the chat, you can actually get on the YouTube. I'm going to drop you the link right now.
Got it.
And there you go.
Perfect. Got it. Here we go.
And there you go.
Perfect. Got it. Here we go.
Mute it though, because I'm getting some feedback. All right, cool.
Got it. All done.
All right. So, introduction. What is it that you're looking at this week? Do you see any trades or taking any trades on any trades?
Yeah. So for me, like right now, obviously it's very much still. I think dollars still played. Obviously, I trade FX. Dollars still play for me at the moment. I'll just walk through. So like last week, let me put this on let me just remove all these markets a minute. Last week we had this big bullish engulfing for the dollar because right now we've got tensions remain high between US and Iran. The yields in the United States are high. So for anyone who doesn't know, like yields are the rate of return that foreign investors get when they invest in a government bond. So this is very high right now. So this is pushing higher. And in order to invest in a government bond, you require dollars. Okay, so dollar follows yields. Yields move higher, then dollar follows. So given that big breakout, I'm expecting a continuation this week because there's no signs of US and Iran slowing down at the moment. I don't know. Do you pay much attention to sort of US Iran situation?
Yeah, I know a lot of information about it. I pretty much trade. I'm a day trader, so everything's relevant. Yeah. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, man. Yeah, lady. Sorry.
Whatever you want to say.
So yes, for me, I'm watching this dollar structure right now. We're obviously clean structure. We're hitting high highs, high lows. We've just got a bit of profit taking going on at the moment. I think we're going to be magnetized to this gap area down here. We had this gap up here on Friday where we had that massive push to the upside. So I'm just watching this pull back a little bit at the moment. Watching a Dixie pull into here, into around sort of 99s, nice and psychological. We're just coming up to that now. And I think obviously we've printed premium and now we're going to print obviously a discount level where I'd be looking to go long dollar, but obviously short euro. So I'm watching my euro shorts right now. I had some nice shorts last week of just a continuation of structure, lower high, continuation to the downside. So I'm watching this pullback right now. I did mark up this area of interest, sort of 1650, nice and psychological, so quite a lot of liquidity here. So it may come now. Like typically when I'm looking for these entries, I'm looking at London. So if you look here, this is the Asian range, and where's the last week's entry was, I missed my entry, but I still got something ideal. But I'm looking for like this sweep above the Asian range high. So that could come, that typically I look for that in London, but that could come also in New York. So I'm watching, we're well above the high at the moment, the Asian range high, but I think that we could be topping out here. So I'm just coinciding that with the Dixie and waiting for shorts for a continuation. So not like ready to press anything yet, but the short would be, in this proximity when we start seeing nice bearish rejection, bearish engulfing, the short will be taken and it will look something like this. So wherever we are, stops above the high, and then I'll be targeting a new swing low. So initial targets would be the low, the extreme low that I can see, and then looking for a new lower low, which will probably be 16 on the nose, just psychological numbers. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at the moment. I'm interested as well though, and obviously I know you're a stocks trader, right? Stocks, I'll be interested to know your thoughts actually on stocks, right? Coming from a stock trader, like why the hell are we so pumped? Is it still like this AI tech boom? Like, because stocks are just in no man's land. Everything going on, right? People are still buying stocks. It's insane. Like dip buying is so strong.
Yeah, we're at a point right now where it's not just it's not just buying and buying and buying because there's a reason to buy. It's now a lot of buying because they're afraid to miss out. So even like bigger investors are starting to do it. And this is kind of just like a weird time to be in the markets. I'm looking for shorts today. I am looking for a continuation as well. Here, I'll pull my screen up and just kind of go over some stuff. So I trade a little bit of everything. I'm on NASDAQ. I trade futures. What I'm looking at right now is I am looking for a manipulation higher. I was expecting that POC was going to get taken out pre-market. I think when the market opens, we'll probably come up into this, and take out yesterday's highs, potentially into this draw on liquidity, which is an hourly fair value gap. And then I am looking for some kind of entry to get short. I trade a couple different things. Like there's a midnight model, mechanical model that is midnight price. Usually it's like an 80% setup if it hasn't been engaged within the last hour and a half before pre-market. So I'm looking for something to kind of indicate that we're going lower so I can get a move down into wherever the entry is, that would be the target. I do think it's going to take out these highs from Friday, but wherever the entry is, like midnight's a target. We also have some levels below. So most of what I do is trading levels, looking for draws on liquidity. And we have a lot of room down here, a lot of unmitigated areas down in these, all the way in the 28. So may not happen today, but I definitely am looking for at least midnight, maybe take out some of the Asia session lows. And there's some relative equal lows down here as well.
Makes sense.
As for like what I trade just in general, I do a lot of like NASDAQ. That's pretty much exclusively what I trade right now. If I feel like the market is just unpredictable, I'll go with a little safer asset, which would be like S&P. Stocks and stuff, I have cash accounts that I trade my own stuff, but I don't really trade as much as I just buy and hold, and dollar cost average in. So that's kind of where I'm at with everything.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like the play today with Nas. I was just looking at it on the hourly, and I'm even in obviously hour 30, 15. It's potentially lining up as well for how I would see just a potential lower high. If we take out that liquidity as well, it could be a bit of a sweep there. Friday's high, as you say. I think there could be a continuation. To the downside. This
is what also same thing that you were saying, like there's an engulfing candle here. I think if we come and close below this daily fair value gap, then we'll definitely come down here and start looking for these unmitigated ones. But when you look at the overall structure, it's just not very convincing. Like the bullish structure is not very convincing. It just kind of looks like, like none of this is convincing, so I just kind of feel like we're going to come down and take out that structure.
Do you think would you say we're going to take out the structure completely? So it's going to potential big reversal on the cards, or what?
I mean, when you look at it, I think I'm just waiting for some sort of rejection in this area, whether we come up here and reject, or if we come up here, make a lower high, and then we come down and like get some of this liquidity. There's just too many imbalances below. So, and we came up really hard. Like there's no purpose. I do feel like a lot of this is just exhausted and overbought, but
makes sense. Could I quickly share my screen again? I think I'm quite aligned with you, and something could be lining up for me. Let me have a quick share. Oh, how do I switch? Oh, you've switched it.
Yep.
Cheers, Abby. Do you know what? I'm aligned with you, but I still think so. This is what I'll be looking for. So today, similar to you, I'm going to watch for a potential. Let me just go on a 15-minute. If we get a sweep up here, similar to you. Obviously, there's a lot of liquidity here. Sweep up here, nice rejection, bearish engulfing. I'll look at some shorts, but I still think, right? And obviously, this will be an intraday play. I would just be coming where the mass psychology is at right now, and obviously, there's a lot of liquidity in this massive zone down here, 28. Obviously, we've got slightly different pricing because obviously you're trading futures, but I'll be looking, down here for a target in towards sort of 28,800 for sort of CFD price. And I still think this is going to be defended. I don't think this is going to totally break down yet, this structure. Obviously, this would still be discount. This would still be a valid higher low area, that will be, I think it's going to be defended. It's going to take some serious welly to like start breaking this out and forcing some downside. If it does happen, it'll just be, for me, it's just going to be, sweeping of liquidity, these wicks that we get when we're printing these higher lows. And I think I just think it's still going to go one final pop into that big 30K. Unless Trump says we are putting freaking troops on the ground in Iran, or he starts striking infrastructure, I just think people are just going to remain delusionally optimistic, and this is just going to, pop into 30K. Unless
he says buy stocks or yeah, I mean, pretty much anything, we just gotta listen. I have my news channels. I have Financial Juice up in the background because I'm ready for it. All of that, it's been really messing with us. I think you're so on with that, like just overall. Even when you're looking at NASDAQ on a higher time frame, even if we just come up and make a my screen is twigging out. Even if you come up and make a lower high, we have so much room down there. If you just put on like a daily chart, so much room to fill imbalances, just tap into it, and we can go up and make a higher high. But I would love to see like a strong pullback for sure. I'm definitely gonna aim for shorts today, but overall, we're just going up. I expected that 30K was gonna be breached last week. It was close. It's like
not far off. Enough juice. What would you say, like, for you in terms of your approach, just getting to know you a little bit in terms of your style? Do you like versus obviously the higher time frame? Would you counter trend? Do you feel like you're counter trend trading on the lower time frames when you're executing 15-minute? Or
say that again?
Are you counter trend trading? Would you say, like versus say like, if you're looking at daily, right? Daily right now is bullish. Still bullish structure, generally speaking. Obviously, you're looking at the 15-minute and looking at potential shorts after this sweep. Would you say, like, for you, general style is like you be counter trend trading, so trading pullbacks when the market's pulling back, or is that like the case for you or not? Is it?
No. So like I trade the trend. I wait for the market to give me information and then I trade that. So if I see the market is telling me that it's like there's a market structure shift to break a structure and it's turning around in a daily time frame, then I'm like, okay, cool, I can make some moves off of that. But normally I like to wait for the trend to be set and then I'll get my trade set up. So I like to trade with trend. I don't like to fight it.
Okay, yeah.
But there's plenty of room to do both. And I feel like some people lean either longs only, shorts only, or whatever it is. When I started out trading, which was not too long ago, actually, I preferred shorts because I felt like it is a staircase up and an elevator down. It happened quick on the short. So for me, I was always looking for that. I was like, okay, I feel more confident as a new trader, just not sitting in trades for a long period of time. I like to see it moving down. I like to see it going to my target instead of waiting in drawdown and just watching it do its little floaty. My patience was just like, I can't do this, So I used to prefer shorts. Now it's just, I trade the trend, whatever it's doing. I just wait for the market to give me information and I get with it.
Fair. Yeah.
Sense. Do you prefer shorts or longs or
whatever makes sense? No, there's no particular preference for me, whatever lines up sort of on a macro level and in terms of and structure, I'm a big structure trader. I think I'm looking at something at the moment. This is like a long-term play, but potential entries today. or this week, maybe tomorrow. But I'm looking at dollar yen, which is, some would say this is super risky at the moment, because when was it? Here, we had intervention from the BOJ, the Bank of Japan, well, the Finance Ministry of Japan. They intervened. So of course, it's big drop in dollar yen and all yen. So this is intervention zone 160. But I'm interested in longs, which is obviously a bit of a ballsy play, considering like they could intervene in this area again. But structure again for UJ is just incredibly intact. And like where right now, if I just pull up, so this is obviously the Fed's, the CME's group's Fed watch tool. So the probabilities of rates in the United States. And when we look, the probability of rate hikes going up quite a lot, substantially. Oh, this was 50% on Sunday. It's changed a little bit, 43.4%. But the probability of a hike is increasing. And the Bank of Japan, these guys in Japan still have low rates, 0.75%. versus the FOMC's 3.75. So there's this massive divergence where for many years, people borrow money in Japan because it costs nothing to borrow in Japan. And then they go and take that money and then they go and invest in the United States. So they earn a yield on that low money that they borrowed. So that's the carry trade. So like that carry trade, that play, while that divergence is there, this will just continue to grind higher regardless of that intervention noise. So long story short, structure remains intact. I like this confirmation here, this reversal candlestick, bullish engulfing, and I'm looking for that to continue. I'm watching discount at the moment on the 4 hour. So right now, 4 hour, got a nice little pullback at the moment, trying to form a higher low. I'm just watching for a potential. If we get a sweep, this is obviously Asia range. Asia range is a big part of my trading. If we get a sweep of this low here, I'm going to look at shorts. So I want to see a sweep of the low, bullish engulfing, and then a continuation to the upside. So this is on my watch list at the moment as well. That could potentially come today. And I'll leave a little bit of breathing room just below this area of liquidity here, just where these lows were, just here, and then run this to the upside for a higher high. I would just be conservative and just go in a run up to, let's go back on the 4 hour, just in a run up to this zone, just on entry to this big intervention area up here. So I'd like to see something like this. So that's on the watch list as well. Yeah, baby. You trade FX much, Abby? Are you an FX trader or you just indices?
No, I'm futures. I started in futures. I know very little about any of that.
Fair.
But I mean, the thing is talking about the Japan yen thing. I heard something about that a while ago where apparently it was like everything that you just said, but apparently it was something like that they were trying to lift the cost of the yen and lower the value of the dollar. I don't know how all of that works. That's kind of not my field of knowledge whatsoever, but I heard a little bit about it.
Yes, there's multiple reasons to why to do it, but like one of the key reasons is, for many years, Japan basically suffered with, instead of like the reverse of what the US are dealing with right now, which is inflation, they had deflation. So people wouldn't spend money in Japan. They're just keeping money in their bank accounts. So they had to introduce something called a negative rate. So rather than you earning a savings interest, it's piss all anyway, but rather than you earning an interest, it costs you money to keep money in the bank. So it encouraged people to take money out of the bank, but go and spend and try and stimulate the economy. And then obviously, Japan want to try and encourage people to keep money in Japan rather than take it out, keep it domestically, because they know that carry trade situation. So that's why they're trying to do everything possible to discourage people from devaluing the yen effectively. From the
wonder if that's why they were basically giving free flights to foreigners inside of their country.
Oh wow.
To stimulate like travel and stimulate the economy.
Yeah. And also Trump and the US just get pissed off with Japan. The reason being, if they've got a cheap currency, and obviously Japan's a massive exporter of Japanese cars like Toyota, Mitsubishi, all those cars. If their currency's weaker, it's better for, say, for example, Europe, Australia, New Zealand, whoever, to then convert their currency into yen because you get more value. So it's cheaper to buy those goods. So it becomes like a bit of a war essentially. It happened years ago where there was trade wars, currencies, each economy trying to weaken their currency. So US don't like it basically because Japan get an edge an economic edge with trade. So that's another reason why they'll step in as well. So there's multiple reasons, but yeah.
Right, and I think that's kind of what Trump's whole plan is with the economy right now, is to lower the value of the dollar so it stimulates our economy. People will want to buy products here, bring money here back into America instead of coming here, working, sending out to different countries, you know, because it's valued higher. So
Exactly. Yeah. That I agree with you. That's probably his plan. He's got a lot of plans.
I never thought this would be anything that I would ever know, talk about, or understand. As like a girl, like, just, you know, this is stuff that I never thought that I would know and I didn't expect it.
It's powerful because, like, it goes, I always say to people as well, it goes beyond just trading, because like this will help you in your everyday, not in your everyday life, but also if you're looking to expand into investing into other markets, you know, trying to find places where you can earn money, you know, earn a yield. And if you're like wised up like this, it gives you an edge, you know, it gives you an edge. You're going to know when is a good time to invest in property or not to invest, you know, when's a good time to borrow money. Like, it's just things that just make you financially literate as well, which is just powerful knowledge. Yeah, that's good. Sure. It's good.
All right, let's see. Let me check the charts real quick. We're 8 minutes from open. Do you trade the open or no?
No. Well, orb, open range breakout.
Any momentum?
No, I don't. I'll wait for that volatility to calm down. Like, I will, if I find my sweep, you know, the sweep that I said, the Asian range, if that comes into play, which could be 230, but obviously that's for FX, then I will. But otherwise, I don't trade indices on the back of the momentum of the open. So what are we? We're 8 minutes away. Have you got something lining up? Not yet.
No, I think here.
This is frozen. Oh, there we go.
I think like I said, I like to wait for the market to give me more information before I get into trades. So I don't really trade the open anymore. I used to try to get in the momentums, the open range breaks. No, it's not for me. I get too stressed out. I see it going against me and it's like so volatile. I lose it. Like I said, I'm a new trader. I've only been trading technically since August of last year.
Oh, really? Okay.
I've been tuned in for a year prior to that, but I actually got into coaching in August. So another thing that I watch is like VWAPs. I did all my training when I first started in VWAPs. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'd like to see the open like take this level at least. And then whenever it starts to turn around, that's where I'm looking for midnight. If we immediately get an inversion and start coming down this way, then I'm going to look for an entry to get in. And I usually take my trades on like a 1 minute.
Yeah.
So things that could help me get in would just be like an inversion, fair value gap, something like that. I do trade a little bit of ICTs. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so, you know, if we come up here and we get a rejection of this high a day view up, that could be something that I also use as an indication to get in. That would be a less probability setup, but, you know, and just wait for more information and then I'll see what's happening. But my ideal thing is just like to get into a short.
So your entries, M1.
Do what?
Did you enter on a minute time frame?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, like I'm watching the 15-minute.
See, well. if I hadn't already lost my hair, I would have lost my hair.
Hey, I got a heart rate monitor over here. I take my blood pressure. You know, okay, so seeing this on a 15-minute time frame, it's confirming to me that, like, you know, it's not very strong, but we're kind of like potentially going to turn around here. I do think that the market has just been a little bit crazy recently. So I'm looking for my stronger probabilities rather than some of my B or C setups.
Yeah, fair.
And I'm just trying to play it as safe as possible. But yeah, right now, like, you know, if it doesn't sweep this level, I think it comes back up later or tomorrow or this week, whatever. But you know, I could get in on the 15-minute chart through an inversion right here. If it closes below here, I expect that it wants to come down lower. But whatever I trade, I'm also being mindful that if I'm trading 15-minute, I can stay in a trade for longer. And maybe that trade's like 30 minutes, hour, whatever. If I'm trading the 1 minute, it's more scalpy, quicker moves. But yeah,
fair.
more information. Definitely not trading the open. I like to watch and see what it wants to do. Usually it manipulates, it comes and sweeps something, and then it goes and does what it actually wants to do for the day. So
do you not, are Mondays okay for you, like for your strategy?
Yeah, I don't know. People have different preferences on days that they trade, whether they trade news, Mondays, Fridays, you know, you hear a whole lot. I just take a trade if I see a trade, you know, like no news Mondays. I feel like they just kind of pick a direction and they go, and they just slowly creep up or slowly creep down, whatever. But because I'm trading to specific levels where liquidity lies, I don't really care. I'm like, if it's a Friday, I'm a little safer, but I don't really have a preference. I can trade every day. I don't have any specific days that I just say no, like I don't trade bank holidays, obviously. I don't trade during the news. I don't like to hold through the news. So, you know.
Fair play.
All right, 3 minutes to open. Let's see what's going on here. Chat, tap in. Where's everybody from? We got 16 viewers. Let's go. First day on stream, 16 viewers.
Where are you seeing that number?
I just clicked the link that I
YouTube.
Yeah, I just clicked the link. I don't know.
I got on my. I'm not gonna say the number of mine unless this can't be mine. Can't be accurate then. Can't be accurate. Whatever mine's saying, it's not looking good. It's all right. You got 16 now. Okay, we'll run with that.
Here I'll refresh it. Yeah, no, it says 15. Okay. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, I like that. All right, cool. My so I have a personal Discord that I set up not too long ago. I don't really tap into it right now, but I might start in the future. And so I had this guy set up all of my like channels and stuff and moderate my Discord. He's in the chat right now. He's gonna do some stuff for E8 and set up our giveaway channel.
All right, nice to meet you, Mr. Moderator.
Sakuna,
my G. Welcome. Yeah, nice. This is
giraffe. Let's go. Welcome to the stream. And then to answer your question, I trade futures and I trade. I'm trading on E8 right now.
I don't know why I can't see any questions.
And yes, I am a skydiver. Definitely something to do for a bucket list item. And I've actually skydived in Hawaii. I got injured, believe it or not. Hawaii is like the #1 place for people to get injured, I swear.
Oh, I can see the questions now.
Yeah, right?
Someone said, "Is there?" Oh, go on. You go ahead, Abby.
No. There's actually a good question in the chat. And you've been with E8 for a while, right?
Yeah.
Do you trade the futures accounts or are you mostly cash accounts?
No, I need to familiarize myself with them. I haven't traded them yet. I'm cash. I'm CFDs, guys.
What stands out about E8 over other prop firms? I think like it's personal preference, whatever prop firms you want to trade. But at the end of the day, I like that you can actually get into the prop firm, not be subjected to like a 2 or 3 day passing period. And you can just like, if you're on a 50K account, you need $3,000, you could just make it all in one set. There's no consistency rule. And I appreciate that with prop firms because I really just like don't like to waste time and money in an eval. So I think that's like one of the things that steers me towards E8 over other prop firms.
Yeah, fair. I think obviously non-biased, but the rules are clear. There's no freaking hidden rules. So it's straight up, you know what you're doing. Like sometimes there's some firms where there's some sneaky rules. So it's just straight up. It's black and white. No ifs, no buts is what it is. So that's what I respect. And I respect the fact that the owner is actually comes from a trading background and he trades. So, and not a lot of guys, there's a lot of obviously, no, with greatest respect, not to throw any down at some other companies, but it's just, you know, these guys haven't come from that background, you know, so obviously they've gone and educated themselves, but they don't have working experience knowledge in it. So that's why I respect E8 and that's why I'm here. Someone asked about potential de-escalation with US and Iran. It's very unlikely. One thing that I have to say about that is imagine, right? US and freaking China with a trade war, right? This is a trade war. This is a freaking actual war. Like the trade war has been going on since Trump sat his fat ass down first time as president in 2019. So do you think that we've got, you know, do you really think we're going to get de-escalation like as deep as we've gone now? No chance. Personally, I think this is going to be going on for months, you know, probably even into 2027. So I think this is going nowhere, you know, and I think this is going to, the inevitable is going to come into play. I think this is, I'll continue to say this is half time, to be frank. This is half time where it's going to carry on, you know, so that's just my thoughts anyway. We'll see what happens. God forbid that happens, but I just think it's going to be happening. So yeah.
I have a really gamified idea of all of that, but I think I wonder. I'll tell you off screen. I feel like I should just keep that to myself.
I would have just said it.
Right?
Maybe don't actually. Don't.
No. I've learned that you keep your political views to yourself. You keep your opinions to yourself.
I think that's best.
You know,
you can't win. You know, everyone's gonna have different views politically.
And this is on the internet forever. So
yeah. Let's not.
All right, so we're definitely getting a sell-off here.
In stocks.
Yeah, here. Let me see.
Oh yeah.
Anything going on your chart?
Well, no, I wanted to see similar to what you were seeing, the sweep, but it's just straight selling coming into play.
Yeah. So we took POC, which is an 80% setup as well. So I got up around like 4:45 a.m. We were sitting somewhere in here, and I expected that POC was going to be taken. Sometimes it, you know, whatever it wants to do, but there's a whole lot of different information that I use, which sometimes when it hits POC, like if we bounce off of this, we might just be bullish for the day. So that would be some indication to me that we want to stay above the POC. If it comes down here, it sweeps below, then we're going lower. So yeah, like I said, I generally don't trade the open. I like to wait for 15 minutes at least. We're going to set a high and low of that 15-minute range.
Yeah, I see that. Agreed.
Once we break out of it, I start looking for trades. A lot of the time I have one trade that I do, which is the VWAP trade. So if we break the downside, we come back up into that level, I'm looking to take a short off of the New York or a short off of the opening range low. If we come up to the top, we break the top, same thing. I'm looking for it to come back into the range, take a long off of that level as well. So more time, more information, and then hopefully we can get something on stream. But let me connect to my accounts.
More time. Yeah, I like the look of that. I can see that high and low coming into play. I still think it's going to push and sweep Friday's high the way it's going. I still think.
Yeah, it could come sweep the highs and then come in for the lows and.
Yes.
Need more information. All right. Let me get my accounts set up. I'm gonna start a fresh one just for this week.
Guys, any questions or anything, please drop it in the chat. You know, No questions too silly. Anything that you're looking at, let us know. Let us know, baby. I'm waiting for this UJ entry. It could come, or it may. I may have to wait till tomorrow. I'm still waiting for this sweep to come out. If this sweep happens, and then we get that bullish engulfing, I'll look at the longs. But it may be the case that this might just trickle lower because it's Monday and dollars just pulling back a little bit. Trickle lower, come down to where everybody's probably lining up right now for the higher low down here in this region towards this TL. You know, it likes this TL, can see it's respected, so it's possible that we come down to here. So that's on the watch list at the moment. Yeah, I think dollar right now is still got this gap for the Dixie. Dollar's probably going to slide into here, so it's possible pull back here and then carry on. Yeah, gaps are cool. Yeah, gaps.
Okay, so you don't trade every day. Sometimes you just sit on your hands and watch the charts.
Sit on these bad boys. Over the years, the more I've realized is like, you know, no trade is a good trade.
Yeah.
You know, I literally wait for A+. You know, so yeah, there's days when I'll just sit out. Like today could be one of those days.
What's your general week? How many trades do you think you take? What's the most you take in a day and the most you take in a week, and then the least?
The most I'll take in a day. Oh, that's a good question. I think it will be 2. So it'll be 2 trades. The most that I'll take in a day. In a week, I mean, it could be a few, because the thing is, for me, I don't stick to one instrument. So wherever I see divergences, where there's clear, you know, one currency is clearly stronger than the other or weaker because of X, Y, and Z fundamental, I'll get in. There may be a time, but I'll keep things diversified. So I may be in a euro dollar short. I may be then in a euro Aussie short. I may be in a CAD Swiss short or long. I don't really. I'll just say on average there'll be 3 to 5 trades. 3 to 5 trades on average, generally speaking, at the moment in these conditions.
Yeah.
So, yeah, generally speaking.
How's that compared to 2 years ago before Trump was off?
2 years ago, well, we're talking probably maybe 10 trades in a day, you know, and a lot of that would be revenge trading now, you know, a lot of that would be revenge trading, or even, no, not even just revenge trading, to be fair. It was also, sorry, not 2 years ago. No, sorry, not 2 years ago. This was many years ago, but it also giving back gains, you know, getting overconfident. So, but no, a couple of years ago, I was probably a little bit more frequent, but not as aggressive. Maybe five trades, 3 trades a day, 3 to 5 a day. But yeah, now 3 to 5 a week, good trades, generally speaking. What I'll consider a good trade. A good trade for me, as long as I follow my rules, can be a loss, but still a good trade. It's still data for me to go and look at and go and refine. But yeah. So
how often do you find yourself revenge trading now? I mean, how many years have you been trading?
Well, I've been in the markets for 18 years. And I actually did start trading at 18. Sorry, how old am I now? I'm 30. I'm going to be 35. But I started as an analyst at the age of 18. I was a T-boy at the age of 16. So then I went an analyst. From the age of 18, I started trading. But it wasn't, there's no plan. Back then, my role was understand what's going on in the markets. You know, all the fundamental news that you see on Financial Juice or on Forex Factory or so on and so forth. I was reporting and covering that news. So anytime I saw a bit of news that was bullish for euro, I'd wait for the calendar. And it was easy back then, actually. So say, for example, you had a piece of data, you saw the unemployment rate was higher for the UK, so it's pound negative. Back then, what would happen is GU would fall by 30 pips, would pull back, and then it would fall again. It was that easy. But now it's not. So I tried to just trade any news release that I saw, which worked for a while, but I had zero plan. There was no entry or exit strategy as such. So then eventually that cost me. Then I tried to trade technicals, and I still couldn't, it still wasn't consistent enough. It took me a very long time. I'll be honest with you, it took me till like my mid-20s, so a good 6-7 years to really understand that it wasn't just fundamentals and macro and technicals. It was like my mindset. I was such a I have like ADHD and stuff, and I was just such a irrational person as well, very like frantic with life. I had to like slow down and sort myself out, with just my character as a person, just like chill out a lot more, be a lot more rational, evaluate things. And like when I bettered myself, my trading, like no doubt, this is not cliche. This is facts. Like my trading just changed.
Yeah.
And I started becoming more structured, more consistent. And the profitability came like after a long time, round the houses. So I think like if anyone coming in the game, like get your shit right as well.
Yeah. I mean, I think that trading is just so challenging for you as a person, for everybody as their own individual person, in general, because I've done a lot of self-work. I've done a lot of stuff in life. I've been successful in different industries, but trading was something that really challenged like all of me. And I'm still facing those challenges. So I think that there's a lot of, there's knowledge that goes into trading, but a lot of trading is EQ. Like you can have brains, you can have IQ, but emotional intelligence is where you're really challenged in trading. And when I first started out, July 22nd, I don't know why I know the date, but July 22nd of 2024, that's when I first started looking at futures, watching the market and buying prop firm accounts. And I did it for about a year, and I promised myself, I was like, well, if I don't get to a point with it, okay, let's see. Sorry, I'm still watching the chart. If I don't get to a point where I'm profitable in a year, then I'm going to go pay for coaching. So I did not make any profit during that year. I spent money, revenge trading, blowing accounts, like nothing good came of it. I understood what was going on in a general perspective, but I didn't stick to a strategy. I didn't have a plan, nothing. And then when I got into the coaching and I had the 5 different people telling me the same thing about me, my trading, and how I was approaching it, it made me really face the challenges to trading. So I took my first payout 4 months after coaching. It was 5 figures. And that kind of just like woke me up. And I was like, oh, okay. And then overall, I took 3 payouts, and then New Year's came around. Trading the holidays really messed me up because I had never done that before. And then I got into, there was just thing after thing after thing with Trump. And we're not trading. We're not trading anymore. We're trading Truth Social, Twitter.
Yeah.
And Venezuela, Greenland, there were so many different things. And it really just messed me up and killed my confidence. And I just started kind of getting back to it and realizing, okay, it doesn't matter what's going on. I just need to watch the market, not trade emotionally, and trade my plan, trade my setup, stick to that. So we're doing good again. I've only been trading, like I said, for a year and a half. And I wouldn't even call the first year trading because I didn't know I was just clicking buttons. So,
yeah, it's beautiful because a lot of people will resonate with you that are coming into the market as well. Like the amount of people that I've spoken to that are struggling at these current times. But what I say is that if you're coming in to learn trading in these conditions now, it's going to make you freaking stronger, because a lot of obviously traders years ago would have come in and the conditions were easier, but this is making you bulletproof in some sense. You're coming in and trying to learn, in these tough conditions. So I think it's good.
I've been telling people, I'm like, if I can learn how to trade in this BS, like when it gets back to how Biden was and, that kind of day, I'm gonna have no issue. We're gonna be so breaded. Got a question in the chat for you.
Yeah, I see that. The
Can
yen
you
one.
Explain the yen trade again fundamentally.
Yeah, definitely. I'll give it to you quickly in a nutshell. I was preparing for it. So if you bring up like on Forex Strategy or whatever, you can see the rate in Japan. Like their rate is 0.75%, right? So you in terms of the interest, if you were to invest in Japan, I'm just saying, typically speaking, this is the rate. This is the interest rate, 0.75%. That's also the cost to borrow money. Now, if you look at the Fed, if we pull out the Fed here, Fed funds rate, the rate in the United States is 3.75%. So that's a massive difference. That's an interest rate differential, we call it. So typically speaking, you got to think, who's paying the highest rates? The US. So that typically, that's where the money's going to flow. You're going to see greater money coming into here as opposed to Japan's measly 0.75%. So in Japan, what I mentioned earlier is you can borrow that interest rate that you saw is also the cost to borrow money. So people in Japan, like years ago, when you pull up, sorry, just get this back up again, just to put this in perspective. One moment. Years ago, people in Japan, so look here, let's pull this up, bam, bam, bam. Oh, sorry, there we go. So look, rates were negative, minus 0.10% in Japan. So imagine you can go and borrow freaking 100K from the bank, and interest, like this is just the benchmark. So the banks would set obviously a little percentage on this, but say for example, you go and get a freaking 100K loan for 0.10 or 0.25%. That's great. You're going to try and earn some freaking yield on that money, on that, because you're not paying any interest on it. So what was always happening is, for many years, people will borrow that money in Japan that was for cheap, and they'll go and take it over, invest in the United States where they can get a yield. They go and invest in foreign bonds or go invest in stocks, you know, in an S&P ETF or whatever, and go and earn a yield on that money. Like, it's a no-brainer. It's smart, right? I mean, I'll be doing it. So yeah, that and then basically we've got rates are forecast to go up in the US. They're increasingly the probability is going up, and Japan are moving very slowly. Look, they've just been on hold with rates for a very long time. So yeah, that's why I think the flows will continue into JPY. So the technicals are lining up. Into UJ. The technicals are lining up. We had a higher low here, bullish engulfing, and I'm expecting a continuation. Just watching this pullback. I don't want to be buying at premium now. This is premium for me. I don't just want to be buying at the high. I'm waiting for this pullback for the higher low. So on the 4 hour, the structure's clean there. It's like a freaking staircase. So waiting for that discount here. So I'll give myself the best chance of the trade going in my favor, and then being extremely conservative and running it in towards this zone. Probably I'll just go for 59.50, nice and psychological, ahead of this big intervention zone. Because look, intervention, this is seriously intervention territory, and it happened back here as well, close to the zone. Look, here, it's intervention. So I would like to take that trade anyway. So I'm watching for that. I don't think the entry is going to come today. I think it's going to be tomorrow. But we should hopefully get that nice drop close towards this trend line. Anywhere from 59.50 here down towards 59.30. I'll look at some longs, but I'll also just be waiting. The reason being is because in case of this, you know, and this, any sort of liquidity sweeping, stop hunting, you know. So yeah, that's on the cards this week. So hopefully today or tomorrow, most likely tomorrow. So I hope that makes sense. Elliot, welcome. Elliot, he's in the house. You're putting gold longs, my man. Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah. Okay. Code X trades. Do you usually have a model that you align that actually helps you enter a trade? I can actually go over mine right quick and
yeah.
Are you still sharing?
Yeah, it's me at the moment.
Oh. I wonder what I'm watching on YouTube. Oh, okay. There we go. I had to update it. All right. I'm gonna throw myself on stage real quick. All right. So kind of when the day starts out, sorry, brain dead. When the day starts out, I usually follow a line of kind of like a chronological order of trading. And the first 15 minutes, the opening range is set. We have a high, we have a low. Now what I'm watching for is for this to break out of the low, which it did. And generally, I'd like to either see it come back up to this area, and then I would get short from here. Or the other option is if it comes out here, then I'm looking for it to come back here, and then I want to get short. So there is a potential trade. I hope that we're going to get this area because that's going to be the higher probability for me. I think I'd probably want to put a stop above POC. Yeah, so let's see if that wants to play out. What is your entry signals? Do you use anything like inversion fair value gaps or?
No, I don't use FVGs. For me, like if just going on an intraday, just simply sweep of the high, sweep of the Asian range high, reversal candlestick, rejection candle, and then bearish or bullish engulfing, whatever way around I'm looking at it, and then entry, and that's it. And then as long as it's in line with structure, or if it's a false breakout of structure, as long as structure's there, I'm entering. I don't have any indicators. The only indicator that I use really is just pulling up the Asian range just to make life easier. But I personally, I don't use indicators. I'm interested in, I wanted to get a little bit know the VWAP a little bit more. I've heard some good stuff on it, and I do have a few institutional buddies that are very plugged in. Like VWAP is used on an institutional level as well. So I'm gonna do a little bit of education on my side.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool because at the end of the day, it's generally like a 70% setup. So I could take 10 trades in a row and without Trump's help, 70% of that's going to come through. So I just got short. I'm short off of the New York VWAP. There's several different VWAPs that you can use as indicators. This is a high a day. It kind of generally is like the highest point. If it breaks the high a day, I might consider getting out. It depends how it breaks. If it's just a small break or a wick or something like that, I don't care. But if I get a solid body above this, more of the body's above than it is below, I might get out of my trade. Because POC's right here, I'm going to give myself a wider stop. But there's other ones like overnight VWAP. I pay attention to that. That might be a target that I'm looking to trade too. Yesterday's VWAP, there's all-time high VWAP. There's so many different ones that you can use. It just, some of them I use as confluence and some of them I actually trade. Right now, I'm just in a trade off of the New York, and I'm looking to take that down to the current lows. Now, I'm one of those people who we'll call it greed. But because I know midnight's down here, I might look to aim for a bigger move. But if I can get a bigger move out of it, I'm going to take it. But otherwise, the general way that most people trade this is that they're going to want to take this down to the current low. Something like that. So yeah, now we sit patiently.
Fair play.
Someone's previous structure, like instead of putting your stop here, most people's stops are here, so you might want to be here or even safer up here.
Yeah. I've never heard of LBGT, Elliot, just FYI, so to mention that on there. Someone said, which is what I was saying earlier today. Oh wait, it's gone, it's disappeared. Someone was asking about the why a price action not lining up with fundamentals, just with indices. And I think for me personally, I just think it's the view. I have the view that right now, like everything is heavy tech. Like the amount of people that are just leveraging, like that's why NASDAQ just ripping it through the roof. And I think everything is just more, every company is becoming more reliant on technology. When we look back through any crisis that we have, obviously we've got a bit of a crisis right now too. We have a couple of crises. We have a geopolitical crisis, and we also have a growth to inflation crisis, which is stagflation. But tech still thrives. Like, look what happened to NASDAQ in COVID. It thrived. And it's because we're so reliant on tech more than ever. This AI, like so many companies are just trimming their workforce for AI, tech, because it does a better job. It's more efficient, generally speaking, and it cuts, it saves their bottom line. So I think that's why, personally, that's just my view. That's why I think we'll continue to drive to the upside. There's just no stopping it. Any dip that we see, when we do have that crash, when we do have a bubble burst in, it's going to be bought aggressively. But yeah. Anyway, dollars continue to pull back, which is good for me. I want to see this pulling back for my UJ longs, for my EU shorts eventually as well. But yeah, this is a typical Monday right now. Typical Monday. What's gold doing? Gold's pulling back as well. Nothing too sexy. Yeah, Bab. Yeah. Ebenezer. She doesn't care for fundamentals, bro. All right, relax. I'm not trying to chirps. I'm just spitting my game, innit? Doesn't care for fundamentals, bro. All right, bro. Easy.
Oh, I was zoning out. I'm just watching the chart because I got in right around here, but this would be considered like a pretty good strong break of New York for a bullish. So just trying to be patient. Not get out of the trade. But yeah, too hot.
Shorts. Oh, let's see. Wait, hold up, Abby. Okay, right. I think because we printed that higher low on the 15-minute, so now we're pushing. But anyway, I don't know.
It's fine.
Yeah.
We're gonna see it through, just in case it wants to turn around at POC.
Hold on. Orb. Bushido trades. You're American. Why do so many Americans trade orb? I'm not starting to try to fight a beef with.
I don't like it.
Like, all I see, like if I ever have like a little doom scroll, I see so many Americans talking about orb. Get really hard. Orb.
Yeah.
Open range breakout, man.
I mean, really, like when I got into trading, I was just looking for the easiest way to win a trade. And so there was the what is his name? I don't want to say his name. Maybe I'll keep that to myself too. But there was this guy that was talking about the open range break, 5 minute, just do this and get in like this. And I was like, oh, okay, that's generally super understandable and you make money quick. But the probability of that trade is like 10%. Like,
yeah.
I went in that trade.
Yeah. Okay. You might see how you cope there.
I'm still not convinced.
Well,
if it bounces off of this, I'm probably just gonna close it. But now I'll probably put it right here. I don't want to take much more than that. Anyways, yeah. So the reason why I put my stop so high is because of this POC level. It respects POC a lot of the times. So
yeah, fair. My man Bushido, you're from Hawaii. That is sick. Love that. I love that. That is definitely on the bucket list. Hawaii. Gosh. How far is Hawaii from, like, what's the closest state to Hawaii?
You tell me. I am. California.
Oh, is it?
I think so.
Right. Yeah, I've been
how do I do this? We have Jesse in here in the waiting room. Let me see. Is there a way to put a third person up here? I think I can. I'll just have to stop sharing my screen. I'm gonna add him in.
Sweet.
Hi, how's it going?
Hey, good morning. What's going on, guys? How you doing?
Morning.
Hey,
We're
Jesse.
just here, trying to hold out a trade.
Nice. Yeah, it hasn't been an easy morning for sure. It's just open straight down and then rip right back up like nothing ever happened.
Right? Yeah, you trade futures, right?
Yeah, futures and equities, but mostly futures these days.
Nice. Are you in anything right now? Or are you just watching?
Not right now. I had the short earlier, made a couple $1,000 on another account, and now was waiting for another setup to see what's going to come here. But so far it's looking a little temperamental. You got the SPY well over a VWAP now, new high a day there. We'll see if it pulls back, maybe holds VWAP, maybe we got a bounce. But right now it's selling aggressively to the downside again, so could be choppy.
Yeah, I am currently in a short. It's doing good.
Nice. Yo, Bushido, what's up, man? Good to see you on here. Yo, Dennis.
Where in the States are you based, Jesse?
I'm in Florida.
Florida, yeah. Whereabouts in Florida? What?
Just about 30 minutes south of Miami.
Okay, nice, man. Nice.
I'm right in between Miami and Key Largo.
Okay. I've been to Miami, which I enjoyed. I thought it was nice.
Yeah, weather's great.
Yeah.
Traffic sucks, but you know.
Yeah, the traffic was mad, man. I've never seen anything like it in my life. It's intense.
Traffic is something, that's for sure. That's why I'm glad I get to do this for a living versus having to get up in the morning and drive in that insane traffic.
Facts, man. Yeah, Abby, you're doing all right there, to be fair. You're doing all right.
For now.
Where are you guys located?
Trump tweet, you know?
Me, I'm London, bro. I'm based in London. Well, just outside of London.
Nice.
Yeah, so.
I'm in California. I'm Laguna, south of LA.
Oh, cool. I was actually born in California.
No way. What part?
Yeah, Los Angeles, but we moved down to Florida when I was a little kid, so I don't really remember anything.
Well, you don't need to remember. Have you been back in your adult years, or?
I haven't. I want to go eventually someday because I want to visit. I think it's Yosemite with those sequoia trees, those huge trees.
Yeah, it's well, that's the Sequoia National Forest, but Yosemite is insane. It's beautiful. I have a trip planned for the 22nd to go.
See, there you go. I definitely want to hit that place up eventually someday. But no, we haven't been back ever since then.
All right, so it's about to sweep the level. I am gonna trail aggressively just because it'll take a level and then want to come back up. I think it'll tap me out. But if it wants to slide and hit this midnight point, then I'm gonna let it do it.
Really nice.
Are you watching anything right now? Are you taking any trades? Do you have anything planned for the day?
I already took a couple trades earlier in the morning. I am watching to see if we got another setup, but right now there's nothing for me. We're at a potential bounce zone here at 29,140 on the NQ. But I mean, it's anyone's guess right now. The drop is so aggressive. The volume increased. I don't have confidence in that level holding much more than a scalp. If I were to get long it, which I'm not. I'm actually looking to see if we get another short setup. That's really what I'd like. I'm a better bear than bull anyways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. It's easier to get in shorts than it is to get in longs and sit through them.
Yeah, I have much more confidence in my short setups than I do in the long setups. I mean, they all work the same, but the long takes longer to resolve itself.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, come on, just go. So the way I see this working itself out is if it does want to come back up, it's going to retest this level.
Yeah, I'm looking to see if we get up there towards on the NQ, that 29,220 zone. I want to see if it gets up there, how it acts, if it finds any resistance.
Do you trade the 80-20 things?
The what?
Like there's something going around that I saw. I'm relatively new to trading, so I don't know what it is, but there's something with the 80s and the 20s.
Like the number? No.
Yeah.
I trade very, very like traditional. So chart setups and patterns give me support and resistance. Bull flags, bear flags, wedges. Those are my favorite things to trade. I don't complicate myself too much, especially with newer type of not techniques, but strategies. No, I mean, this stuff is tried and proven, so I'm not looking to reinvent the wheel. I'm of the school of thought that everything works. We're the ones that don't work. Our emotions get the best of us.
Facts. Facts, bro. You find something that works for you. With the bull flags and the bear flags, do you trade an anticipation of the breakout for a continuation, or how do you typically trade those?
So it depends. There's 3 different ways I like to trade flags. one of them is, just getting my entry while we're in the consolidation phase of the flag and holding a stop loss or where we invalidate the pattern. Depending my size on the entry, if I have room to an add when we break up or down, depending when we're trading a bull or a bear flag, I might add to the position. But that's generally how I do them for the most part. I rarely do. I do it, but I rarely wait for the breakout or breakdown before I enter. I'm usually in already, but it also has a lot to do with the volume on the setup. The volume for me says everything. It's telling me whether we have, if we're looking for the long side, I'm looking at the volume. If during the consolidation or the drop, the volume is too big, there might be too much selling pressure, so I might hold off and wait for that breakout versus getting in early while we're consolidating.
All right, sorry to cut you off. I just got on my trade. I'm up 8-10 on the accounts. You want to go over some of the trades that you did today? I threw you up on the present thing.
Oh, cool. Yeah. So it wasn't in this chart here, so I can't put like the little arrows. But let me see here. Where is 930? Hold on. I want to say, hold on, let me look over here because I can't see there because it's the screen sharing pop-up is right in its face. Give me 1 second. Let me go look at what candle that was. Okay.
I hate to say it, but I also just got another short.
Right in here, I just played the momentum, went ahead and got short, and I rode it down, and I took profits as we went. Then I tried to play the long bounce here, but it didn't work for me. It didn't work for me at all. So I got the position on, got stopped out, lost a couple bucks, nothing out of this world, and then I just let it go. But I just played this quick waterfall here. It's funny because in the Discord, that's exactly what I said. I was like, guys, if we give up that low, that initial low, I think we waterfall, and then we got this candle, this big, humongous candle, and that was my play this morning. I played it on a couple of accounts. Made a little bit over $2,000 on each one, so we're pretty set there for the day. But now I'd like to get something else. This is a brand new EA account that I got, so I'd like to pass that one.
Yeah, I love these because you can literally pass them in a day.
Yeah. Oh,
and
yeah.
then you have a new account in 5 minutes. You're funded. So,
exactly.
Yeah, I feel like when I was trading different props, I was trading Top Step when I first started. And I didn't know anything better. I didn't know anything different. I didn't know there was other prop firms. I just thought that was it, And I was going into these accounts and I would get so frustrated because I'd get capped at like 50% consistency. Mm-hmm. And it would send me into just like a rage spiral where I was just, I would go through accounts and blow them and blow them and blow them. And then I was like, it would just upset me. So I appreciate these accounts a lot, but there's so many benefits to these, honestly.
Yeah, I enjoy the 1 day to pass type stuff as well. I don't really like I'm not about spending a whole week on one account trying to pass it.
Yeah, if end of day drawdown, no intraday. I hate intraday drawdown. I just, there's no silent rules.
Yeah, I don't mind those that much, me personally. But then again, I cut my teeth trading small cap, low float runners years ago, so I'm used to taking profits quickly.
Yeah.
But yeah, end of the day, definitely prefer that. And if you give me 1 day to pass, I'm happy.
If you give me 1 day to pass, I'm passing.
Like max 2 days, okay. Like I'll trade some that are 5 days. Well, not 5 days to pass. You can hit the target in 2 days because you got the 50%, but then you got to trade them another 3 days. I'll just go flip some micros and let them sit in the back burner. But yeah, like 1-2 days max, preferably 1 day.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna throw myself up real quick because I got out of my trade, but then I immediately got back into a trade. So, okay, I took around here. I got back into a trade because we came straight back up to the New York. One of my better trades is taking off of the New York. So I still would like to see it come down and take this level at midnight, but maybe the market decides this is where it wants to turn around. So I'm in a little lower than I was. I think I did 5 contracts on my previous one. This one's 3, so I won't take as much loss, and I'll keep some of the profits either way. But yeah, generally this trade would look like, you know, if you get short here, that you're only going down this level. But I do think that we're going to take midnight. So I'm going to try to see this one through. Yeah. Are you seeing anything, Ken, or?
Not right now, unfortunately. Still allowing this dollar pullback to play out. Nothing new on the horizon right at the moment. Yeah. This is just a classic Monday for me. Bit of hand sitting for now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there other days that you feel like you guys just don't trade?
Friday as well, I won't trade. So for me, like Tuesday through to Thursday, yeah, like are the best days for me.
They're definitely the best days. I feel that. But
what's the best days for you? Oh, they're the best days. Yeah.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays are great. Fridays are really sketch.
Yeah,
But
100.
I don't mind to trade Mondays and Fridays.
I love a Wednesday's a really good day for me, especially if I'm swinging, because we get really nice expansions on a Wednesday. Yeah, Tuesday we set sort of the foundation, but nice expansions on a Wednesday. Yeah, and then be done, typically speaking, on a Thursday. So, yes. But yeah, I'm just hand sitting at the moment. Nothing too sexy, unfortunately.
I trade every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What time
I don't
frame
have
do you
a
trade on, Dressy?
I trade Saturdays and Sundays.
Yeah, yesterday I traded at night a little bit. I rarely trade Sundays though, but Monday through Friday, if I'm here, I'll trade as long as there's a setup, as long as there's something to trade. And there usually is, because I'm more of that chart pattern momentum type trader. So there's always something for the most part. But yeah, I trade every day. The only thing I don't trade is on the moment, like news. News comes out, I don't a minute later jump into a trade. Unless I'm trying to YOLO an eval somewhere. Outside of that, I won't do that.
Well, you said you trade every day. What? So do you trade crypto as well, or what?
No, just NQ. I do trade equity sometimes. I traded MU last week on the short side. Shorted it around 780. My best take profit on it was 707.
Okay.
I was kidding. I don't trade on the weekends. Sometimes I will get in there on a Sunday. I have to like really know something's happening though.
Sunday. So that would be when the market's open for you guys. That's Sunday. Is it afternoon time, right? Afternoon. Yeah.
Usually,
so strange for me.
Nothing's really happening until like 5 or 6 p.m. my time, Pacific
Yeah.
Standard. Wow, we have a lot of questions in the chat. There's stuff happening.
Are we bullish on Trump China visit?
Trump China, that's the one I saw too.
Yeah, bullish on what? But
bullish on what? He went to China. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have seen, right? There's this. I need to find it actually, but there's this where like Xi Jinping was away from the table, like he left his black notebook on the table, and Trump was like looking through it, looking to see if anyone's looking around and like trying to read Xi Jinping. Nice. I need to find it. Let me see. Trump Xi.
Wait.
I have to find it now. It's freaking hilarious. Notebook. Let's see.
I'm gonna throw you up. Go find it.
Yeah, look, I've got it here. Look.
And we're leaving your stuff laying around.
Is that real or is that AI? I feel like everything is AI.
No, that's not. Maybe it is AI.
Yeah, it's got to be AI.
Does he read Chinese? Like, stop.
But it wouldn't put me past like that. That's classic Trump. That's something he would do.
Yeah.
Oh god. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I did hear something about the tariffs. Like they were gonna lower the tariffs with China.
They came to an agreement between both the U.S. and China.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't think.
Dear diary, my friend Trump
doesn't want to roll over.
Yeah. What's that, Jesse?
The market just doesn't want to roll over.
No, no chance. No chance in hell is it. Dips are just. Yeah.
I'm still in mine.
So you went back in your shorts on NQ?
Yeah, I did.
You're ballsy.
It was kind of dumb, but hey.
Yeah. See, I was looking at that structure that you like here on the 15-minute now. High, 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 low, high, high. Obviously, high, low, high, high. I don't know. I was interested in those shorts still. I'm still interested in those shorts, but up here, I'm waiting. Sweep of the high.
If we break over that 300, this thing could just squeeze.
Could rip. Yeah. Could rip.
Yeah, I like I said, I'm in a lot less than I was before, but I just feel like when I get into trades, whether it be longs or shorts, I'm more looking for quicker moves. Right now we're back at the level that we were before where it rejected. So if we reject it, then I'm holding my trade. If we bust through it, I'm gonna close it.
Fair play, madame.
What part of Florida are you in?
I'm just south of Miami.
Okay, wait, there's a south of Miami?
Well, yeah, you got the whole Florida Keys. I'm right in between Miami and the Florida Keys.
Oh, okay.
It's an area called Homestead. We live out in the Redlands. It's more of an agriculture type area, or at least it used to be. Right now, there's construction everywhere. So I bought out here back in 2011. It was a lot quieter. It's still very quiet and nice. Half an acre lot, stuff like that. So it's really nice and chill here, but the construction is insane and traffic is starting to pick up. But the reality is I'm not going anywhere else from here because I'm not going to go north, and I can go south more. I have another house down in the Florida Keys. So that's why I don't really want to ever be too north, because I like to go down there. It's on the water, and we get to enjoy the summer with the boat and stuff like that.
How does that work with all the weather? I feel like there's hurricanes and stuff, and
we haven't had a hurricane hit in a few years now. I think, man, I want to say like probably close to 10 years, like a direct hit in this area anyways. We haven't had that. We haven't had any issues like that in a while. And thankfully down there in the Keys, we haven't had any. I mean, I bought that house a couple years after the area got hit with a hurricane. So we haven't had any issues down there, thank God. But yeah, once September rolls around, September, October, November, I'm like, oh my God, here we go. I got to be paying attention to the weather in case I got to go down there, pick up the boat and get it out of the way.
Right. That's wild. Yeah, I remember, so I grew up in like Ohio area. Well, I grew up in Georgia, and then we moved to Ohio. So both of those states, I'm used to having pretty bad weather, tornadoes. But yeah, I remember getting in tubs with beds. We would get the beds and put it over us and get in the tubs.
Oh, wow.
Different lifestyle.
What's that? Getting the beds in the tub? Sorry, I missed. What is that? What is
Yeah,
that?
you guys don't get anything like this, I don't think, in your country. No. We get tornadoes and hurricanes, and you either go down to the basement or you get under some sort of stable structure, or you have to get in the tub with a mattress over you and just hope that you survival.
Wow. That's
so as a kid,
yeah, that's wild.
Wow. Yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah, tornadoes get humongous in those areas. Don't you guys get up to like F5s?
Yeah.
That's huge.
Trade's still trading, still doing its thing. It rejected the POC.
Go on, do you want to share your screen, Abby? Can't have a little.
Yeah.
Glitches.
Now it's still just, let me see, add to stage, remove, add. This is the first time I'm ever operating StreamYard, so sorry if I'm slow. But yeah, the trade is still trading.
And we're not getting any continuation in either direction. It's just like a big old little channel.
This doesn't look too promising for my trade.
Anybody playing the channel is making bank right now. The breakout's not coming. I mean, unless we start really breaking up over 29,300, and we're gonna need some volume for that.
Yeah, agreed. I don't think that's gonna happen. Need some volume, yeah. That's my short area of interest up there. Personally. See what the latest is.
What a
I think
day.
what's that?
I said, what an icky day. This is not. Well, okay, so there's an 80-20 thing, different 80-20 rule. 80% of the time the market just chops. No continuations. 20% of the time it trends. So like if this is the level that we're setting in, then you can just start trading these levels. I don't know. I think I might end up closing this, just break even or something. Wait for some more information before getting into another trade.
Yeah, you can see that channel on the 15-minute.
So far, the SPY today has just held over Friday's close, but hasn't broken up over Friday's high by any means. So it's just really choppy. And we violated Friday's low. I'm sorry, Friday's close, but we regained it pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So far.
Just keeping structure. Structure is incredibly bullish.
It's funny. I'll have this little indicator that is like in this corner. It was all red. It all said bearish. And then you said it's incredibly bullish and everything turned green. Like it has no relation, but it was just funny. I'm like, shh, be quiet. I'm in a short.
Yeah, S&P looks pretty like it's gonna rip it, to be fair. That looks really nice.
What are you looking at? Let me see.
I was looking at SPX now, just what Jesse was noting, because oh, sorry. Sorry guys, that is a madness.
I love that analysis.
That's my brain, by the way. That's my brain.
That's real trading right there, guys.
I genuinely don't know what's
That's what our brain looks like all the time.
Oh, this is yeah. No, let me clear this up a little bit. Chart hygiene. Sorry, that was embarrassing. So yeah, no, this for me on this right now. This is like a massive higher low area right at the moment. This is just being defended around what 75.50, 73.50 here. Just confirmation. Jesse noted obviously it took out that Friday close, and now it's just come back with some force. So like this 4 hour now, obviously we had this pullback structure here where we're printing these lower highs, these lower lows, but now just looking incredibly bullish. Reversal candlestick, bullish engulfing, follow up with some momentum. I mean, this looks pretty tasty right now, to be fair. I think dip buying.
Okay, I'm out of mine. I closed with $80.
You're out.
Yeah. I'm gonna wait for more information because I think we're just gonna sit here and chop.
But everything's just moving in these channels right now. You can see the channels. It's pretty clean at the moment. Same with NASDAQ, just in that channel. Yeah.
So Jesse, you said that you trade wedges. When you look at that chart, what I see based off the wedge formation thing, I don't know a ton about it, but it looks like it's a downtrend. It's consolidating up. Wouldn't you think that it would like go down, or do you think it would go up?
What time frame is that?
Oh, that I just had that on the 15-minute.
Oh,
that's on 15-minute.
I mean, I could, ignoring the wedge, I can almost see the beginning of a very sloppy reverse head and shoulders.
Oh yeah. Maybe
on a larger time frame it cleans up. Maybe, I'm not sure.
Explain that, the reverse head and shoulders.
So
what's that?
This something like that, right? And there's neckline there.
There you go.
Pew, pew, pew. Potentially. Yeah, possible. Yeah, that could be nice. Yeah. Someone said euro dollar's breaking. Not yet. I'm not convinced it coming lower, to be honest. Whoever dropped that, I missed that in the chat. I'm still waiting. I'm not convinced. Like, this was my area of interest, is 1650. But it's just too late in the day for me. This is past entry point for me on euro now. You know, volume starts to subside in the next sort of 30 minutes or so. So yeah, I'm not convinced. I think this might pull back a little bit more. As I said, with a Dixie, for me, I'm just waiting for this gap. Like, this would be interesting for me. 98.90 tomorrow, and then I'll look at the longs, the resumption, and the shorts for euro. So nothing right now. And then the same with UJ. It's still the same. I want to see this pulling back a little bit more before I buy. So just hand sitting, guys.
I just turned my light down, realized that my eyeballs hurt.
All right. Yeah, I think
in a short right now. I think I'm waiting for more information before I get into another trade. But
fair.
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead. Didn't mean to cut you off.
Fair play. No, I just like, I think the next thing, just be aware of this. Basically, Trump obviously dropped last night. That the clock's ticking. That's why oil pushed up higher last night. The open we gapped higher. I think markets are on edge. I think one morning, just be prepared. Well, one evening for you guys, morning probably overnight for my time, that violence is going to be called. Trump's going to wake up and call violence. It's as I said, I think like it's inevitable. They're going to do something. It's going to spook the markets, and it's just going to be a little scare tactic to try and get Iran over the line. Then things calm down again. Yeah, I think just be aware, guys. I think something's going to happen. Let's see. Oh, Abby, you would have been all right for your shorts, it looks like. Carrying back down, carrying on.
Yeah, I closed it when you guys were telling me that. Looks great for longs. Yeah, I mean, if anybody's in short right now, it looks good. I think I'm going to wait for more information, because I feel like we're just chopping in between these two levels. I want to see it break out before I get into something and retest a level.
Oh, damn, Giraffe. Don't worry, we've all been there, man. That's completely normal. Here's $400 from passing a 50K. Now it's almost blown.
Oh, we've all been there.
If you're swinging that, what was that, like $3,000? You're swinging $3,000. You might want to size down a little bit.
Yeah.
Try to do it in 5 trades, not 1 trade. That was my biggest problem when I got into this. I was like, oh, like, you can make so much money so quick. But yeah, you can lose so much money so quick. Yeah. So size down. There's
no rush.
Okay, one big pass. Oh no. Hold the short.
Yeah, you know what? It is looking better for the short side now.
Yeah.
The SPY is just breaking down underneath VWAP now.
I should have just listened to myself, not listened to you guys. I'm kidding. Yeah, I wasn't liking it anyways. Wasn't feeling too pretty.
It's just a big old channel.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, one level is going to give up.
And I think it's going to be to the downside.
I'd hope it is, because that's what I trade the best. So
yeah, I would actually be upset if it was, because it's going to go pick up this level that I wanted, and I'm not going to FOMO into it, so I'm going to miss out on the trade that I wanted.
That's good discipline, though.
Yeah, I feel like discipline is probably the hardest thing for me. I mean, I'm, like I said, I've been doing this for only trained since August, but before that I was just watching the charts for like a year.
Oh, good. So did you paper trade?
Huh?
Did you paper trade that year?
No, unfortunately not.
Oh, you just watched the charts and like looked at how things worked out, etc.
I was paying for a $10 monthly stream with Austin Silver at ASFX, and then I was buying prop firms. I probably went through like 10 to 15 grand of prop firms in the year, and then I just like looked at it and I was like, I'm not making money. I could have spent $500 back in the day a month and got proper training, one-on-one coaching, and I didn't do it. So I ended up doing the 4-month one-on-one coaching in August. It costed me $5,000 instead of 500. But I did it. It really helped, just understanding just so much more. I started logging my trades, and I used TradeZella to kind of get in there and really understand. The more that I would write down my trades, the more I'd see that I would blow my accounts doing the same thing every time, and it really brought awareness to my trading. So
definitely, it's one of the best ways to learn, to be honest, to get stuck in. Like for me, I called it exposure therapy. You've touched the hot stove one too many times, and at some point you're gonna learn, unless you're completely brain fucked.
Yeah.
So
if you have to continually write down, blew my accounts trying to chase the high or trying to catch the reversal, you're gonna eventually learn from your mistakes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I had a similar thing when I started trading. Maybe a year, second year into it. I don't really remember exactly. There's a YouTube video where I cover that. I had my biggest loss ever. It was $4,000 in one day lost on Tesla. I was trading options, day trading. I would day trade the weeklies. And it was like a moment where I was just looking at the screen and seeing the numbers. And I was like, Jesse, do you make $4,000 in a day? And I said to myself, no. But then I was like, you have no business losing $4,000 in a day then.
Mm-hmm.
And that was that moment there where things kind of clicked, and I was like, bro, you got to get disciplined about this. You got to set rules, etc.
Damn, man. I'm looking at this thing. I'm like pissed. Your drawings are beautiful.
That's the zoomed in on the head and shoulders, isn't it?
Artist. Here, I'll take you off. No, yeah, this is definitely, definitely the trade I was looking for. And I should have held it, but I didn't. Like anything like that, it's definitely gonna go to midnight. All right, this is what I'm gonna try to do. If I can get just a little pullback before we actually take this level into this imbalance, then I will get short. So I'm going to set a limit order. If it just sweeps this, I'm going to be so upset. But I'm going to set a limit order right there. Why are you not working? There we go.
Wow.
Maybe even in this area, just a little one. Yeah, a little scalp. Let's see if it can tap me in. Don't take it. Whatever. Yeah, it's probably just gonna sweep this level. Sad day for me.
No, it's a good day. You're still up. It's not a sad day. It's good. It's good.
We're up $833.
Nice.
Right, well, it swept that level, so I'm not even gonna try. Okay, so that level was taken. That was my first on the list. After that, now I feel more confident in shorts. I look for the next levels that I think is going to be taken. So zoom out. We have, I'm actually going to put this on the hourly chart. If we wanted to continue, we have some relative equal lows here, down here, that I would be interested in seeing. I don't think it's going to make it all the way down here today, but if it did, glorious. I can find a couple more trades. This will be the next level that I look for. So I use a combination of things as confluence, but I also just feel like sometimes I see things in the chart that I make up and I'm learning. And one of the things that I've figured out with fibs is that you can kind of pull a fib from a level to a level, and it'll either bounce off that 50% mark, and then it'll give you a moment to get back into a trade, or it'll like come up and retest that previous level, or it'll slice right through. If it slices right through, it might come down to the next one, and you have a chance to get into that one. So all things that I watch for, those are not my like most confident setups. That's something that I've just kind of been watching. Like, as you see, it kind of went to about 50% of this mark. I might throw a little trade on with one contract. And oops, that's not where I wanted it, but it's fine. And then I'm looking for this next level. Another thing is like, you know, it could come up into these imbalances. So I don't want to put a stop like right here above this. I would want to give it space. So I trade these really small size.
I'd like to see now a bounce back into what was earlier support. See if that level now becomes resistance. I think it kind of coincides with your levels that you have drawn up there, at least the top end one.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy because everything kind of coincides.
If that level shows up resistance, I'll definitely look for a short setup there.
I'm just taking shots with gold. What's happened?
All for you guys or no? Are you guys there or no?
Yep.
Abby? Yeah, we're here.
Am I?
You're here. You're loud and clear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna close this because my computer is like mega lagging right now.
Yeah, fair.
I need to close a bunch of stuff.
Fair play.
I don't know if it's my Wi-Fi or my computer, but it is actually glitching. Okay, cool. Sorry. All right, I think we're good. Anyways, what else you were saying something? Oh, that's my email.
I just entered some shorts for gold.
You trade gold?
Yeah.
Nice.
I trade gold. I trade it similarly to how I trade the my dollar related, my majors. Structures, obviously, for me, structure is incredibly bearish. Oh, am I sharing my screen?
No, let me throw you up there.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, top down was still bearish. You know, it's a nice sort of weekly sell-off last week with a jump, rise in yields, big bearish engulfing. I had a rejection. It's got this liquidity area here heading into 4,600, but I got my entry late. This was on my watch list earlier today, but I just slipped my mind. But obviously sweep above the high, reversal candlestick in this liquidity area, bearish engulfing. This is where my entry should have been, but I'm in a little bit late because everything's still lined up and I'm just looking for us to come back down to the Asian range low. So I got this running right now. Let's see how we do, baby. But I think, like, for me, long term with gold anyway, I think this is going to come down and take out this liquidity of this candle here, come down into 4K, to take out this low. I think we're going to be heading into 4K before we even consider some potential buying But yeah, I think the big sell-off is coming for gold. For anyone who doesn't know, yields, obviously this is yields, 10-year yield. This is ripping it at the moment, and I think we're just going to continue to rip it. Like, inflation's still high, oil's still freaking high, still 50% above pre-war levels. So I'm expecting gold to just be hammered long term. So yeah, that's what we've got going on right now.
Yeah, when I got into trading and I learned how to trade with like the VWAPs and stuff, and then some of the other strategies, I realized that you can move them into different things like options. I now trade options or my cash accounts, stocks, regular stocks, because I can trade those same type of setups and structures with everything. But when it comes to trading gold, crude, oil, any of that stuff, like I just get really, like, I steer away from it because I'm worried about the volatility. And I feel like every asset has its own way of moving. So
correct.
If I don't know something super well or haven't been watching a chart for a long time, I don't like to FOMO into it. So I don't know anything about gold. I stayed out of it. I don't know anything about oil. I stayed out of it. Like, the charts are different, and I don't even like want to involve myself at this point, at least. Maybe later on I have enough experience to be able to like jump through assets, but right now I feel like I don't. So I'm just trying to like save myself.
Yeah, no, fair. That's a smart way of doing it. Get to know your baby, get to know your baby in and out before you're confident enough. Like, yeah, you not a lot of people. For a lot of people don't realize that. Yeah, every asset moves differently. It has different price behaviors. It's just the way it goes. So it's a good move.
Volume too. Like, I tried to trade silver when it was going nuts, and man.
Yeah.
I was like, no, thank. I've been trading this November. I marked 10 years of trading. Nice. And just leave me with ES, NQ, and equities.
Right.
And you keep the metals. I don't want them. I mean, I'll buy them in physical. I'll buy them in physical metal, but that's it.
I have so there's a competition going on with E8 right now where you can actually win cash prizes, and I trade also. I do crypto. I've been in crypto since like 2014 or 15 or something. I was 20 years old. And I just bought it because I nannied for a guy and he was like, you need to buy this. And I was like, I don't have money. And then he's just like, you got to do it. And I was like, just pay me in Bitcoin. So he set up an account. He got me Bitcoin. That was my initial, introduction to everything when it comes to the markets was crypto. I just logged in one day in 2017 and had a ton of money. And I was like, oh, that's how that works. Like, okay, I got it. So I understand Bitcoin and I've been watching it for like 10 years. So I was playing with this account and I don't know anything about silver. And I taught myself the same thing that I'm like, you don't do that. I got into a silver short, or I don't know if it was a short or long, but I got into a silver trade and I in seconds was down like $3,000 in this trading account. And I was like, okay, well, that's not ideal. I don't know anything about it. Apparently there's just like a bunch of fees and, the whole nine. So I learned the lesson that
Yeah, that's similar to what happened to me when I first started trading. When was it? 2016. There was this shipping company, DRYS. I bought it. It made $1,000 on like just 15 shares. And then there was a bunch of sympathy plays that came along with it. Other shipping companies started to short squeeze, and I started buying them all. So I was like, "Oh, this is easy." I lost pretty much all the money like this.
Yeah, it's definitely a mistake. If you don't know an asset, don't trade the asset. I like NQ because it moves quick. If you have the right direction, you can easily get a 5-point, 10-point scalp in seconds.
Yeah.
You don't have to sit there and wait for 45 minutes for your trade to play out. So I appreciate that about NQ. When I'm not doing well or my mindset's not right, I'll go trade the S&P. I'll sit there and want to play safer, a little more less crazy.
Yeah, it's less temperamental, honestly. When I first started trading futures, it was during COVID, and I traded the ES. That's all I traded. And when I came over to props, I started trading NQ. I was like, damn, wait, I kind of like the NQ more because it's faster. Because I came from trading the low float runners, and they're fast, so it just made sense for me.
Right. What were you trading before? Like, what's your whole process of getting in? Did you do coaching, or did you just self-taught?
So I started. Okay, so that time that I lost the money, right? That I lost $1,000 I had made on DRYS. Okay, it triggered for me. I was like, okay, there's something here, but we got to inform ourselves. We got to learn. I've been self-employed for almost 20 years, so I knew about protecting capital. I was like, okay, we can't just go nilly-willy here, nuts, throw a bunch of money in a brokerage account and go off and trade and think we know what we're doing. We're gonna lose $30,000 like this. So I started to look at videos. Ended up on, like most people, on Ross Cameron's Warrior Trading, watching him trying to trade at 9:30. Ended up finally in some chat room there where I started to learn about chart patterns, but there was something missing. It was always something missing in the way the guy would teach them, because he would just teach the chart pattern. And I was like, okay, but why does this bull flag work and this one doesn't? Or why does this one usually fail while this one usually, it has a higher percentage of success? And throughout the years, between two different services, I finally learned about how to read volume, how to trade patterns, how to trade setups, how to journal your trades and figure out certain things. Like when we dumped all my trading data into a journaling software, the guy that was teaching me, he goes, look at all your losses and look at all your wins. Where are they spread out amongst? What time frame? 9:30 was all nothing but blood. Like trading at the bell, because emotions would get heightened because there's no rhyme or reason. Things are just going insane.
Right.
And then 9:45, 10 o'clock, I was mostly green. So started to take that 9:30 opening bell out, not trading that, waiting until 9:45 before patterns and setups would start to show up. And I would trade that, and little by little, it started to click. And then it was all really about risk management and managing your emotions. That was the hardest part. And it still is a battle. I don't think we ever really fully master our emotions. I just think we get better as time progresses at controlling them and then picking up on cues when we're about to do something dumb and then separating ourselves from the desk.
Yeah, 100%. How long did it take you to get consistently profitable?
I want to say that around year 4, I started to find profitability. And hold on, I'm just going to mute this. Around year 4, I wanted to say I started to find some profitability. Not large numbers, but enough to hey, we're going to take a little vacation, stuff like that. Have a little extra spending money. The process was sound, but I wasn't able to scale because of the being risk adverse. So my dollar amount risk per trade wasn't enough for me to be able to surplus my entire income or anything like that. So as time progressed, around year 6, things started to click a little bit better. I started to go from, hey, I can only risk $50 a trade, $100 a trade, to now I can risk $300 a trade comfortably. And, now you're risking 300, you're making 600, 900. Math showed that you can make money this way. At this point, you can actually make a decent living. And that's it. It just went from there. And then I found props, and that just changed everything, because it allowed me to trade larger risk without the emotions being there. And just this year alone, what was it, February, March, I made enough money. February and March, I made enough money in payouts to just pay off the remaining balance on my house.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
From props.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's kind of the dream, right?
Yeah, that was I said to myself, I'm at least gonna do one good thing with this, and that's liquidate that debt. And now if all of a sudden next year I suck at trading again, at least I did one good day. I didn't piss it all away all the years.
That is almost like a thing that I feel like there must be some psychology behind it, that it's not like you're just going to wake up one day and like all of a sudden you're going to suck at trading. I took some time off because I went on vacation and then I had work to do after the vacation. And I took 3 weeks off, 2 weeks off, and I came back to it thinking like, oh no, like what if I can't trade? I don't know. But yeah, basically like I feel like for me, I wouldn't say I'm consistent. I've had consistent profit, but I'm not consistent yet. It's not something that I could just replace my job with and be full-time trading, but I am a full-time trader. So rewind. You said that you haven't worked in 20 years. You've been like entrepreneurial.
Since almost 20 years. It's probably like 18 years, something like that. 19. I'd have to do the math. But
I'm
yeah,
since the same boat.
My mid-20s.
So for me, I understood, I actually read something that showed people who are entrepreneurial usually aren't successful traders. And I was like, no, we're not going to let that. That's not going to happen. But when I found trading and I found prop firms, like you said, it takes the risk off. You can trade somebody else's capital and not feel that same type of emotion if you lose your own money. So exactly. I feel like that's a game changer. And that was my introduction to trading. Then I started trading my own cash. And I'm entrepreneurial. I haven't worked for anybody really in 10 years. This is the first experience that I am in a long time. And I think for me, having that set of skills when it comes to opening businesses, starting companies, starting brands, I have a lot of understanding of my emotions and I have a lot of understanding of risk. And that has definitely transferred over into this industry. But at the same time, there was a lot of things that I came into that I just didn't expect when it comes to what it puts on blast with your emotions. So it's all a learning curve for sure. But I'm not consistent yet. I do make money trading. I love trading. It's something that I would love to just do for the rest of my life. But there's so much to learn, to be honest. A lot of it's just the emotional side of things. So
a good chunk of it is just that, the emotional side of things. The rest is just being exposed to the market and being able to adjust to different market conditions, which you'll see over the years. But it really comes down to controlling the emotions, because technical analysis is textbook stuff. Anybody can just sit there and read it and learn it, and you know it. Like you can get tested. You get a quiz and you'll pass. You'll know what VWAP is. You know how to trade it, etc. But when it comes down to managing risk and accepting a red day, and stuff like that, or even a red week, that's where it comes. Because that's where the gambling starts. Because you're like, damn it, I want to make it back, so you oversize. We've all been there. We've all done it. It's like that. Like the guy in chat that he mentioned that he was, what was it, like a couple $100 away from passing, and he blew up the account.
Yeah, I don't know. Did he blow it? If you're still in here, did you blow that account? He just got it too.
I've been $20 away from passing an eval and blew up the damn thing.
My first payout, I was $40 from blowing the account. And it wasn't one. I was copy trading for whatever reason. I was copy trading. I wasn't even profitable yet. So my first payout, I have 3 or 5 accounts. I think it was 3 accounts. And I was $40 away from blowing the accounts because I went into an emotional spiral.
Yeah.
And I remember sitting there and I was like, okay, everything I've ever learned, don't size up, size down. So I went to 1 contract and I pulled myself a few $100s out of it. And then I sized up to like 3 contracts and then 5 and then 10. And I actually took a 5-figure payout off of those accounts.
Wow.
And yeah, I was, but that's not something that I could have done months prior. And I think I also put a lot of stress on myself. And I told myself, I'm not going to get a job. I'm going to do this. I'm going to make money doing this. If I can't make money by December, like a couple months ago, if I can't make money by December, I'm done trading. And I put this really hard goal on myself because I was like, I know how I work under pressure. So I did it. And it was actually November that got me. I had made really good money. It was all on shorts. The market was dumping. It was that October to November window. And I was up $21,000 or $22,000, and I copy traded 3 accounts. And I was one day from a payout, $150. That's all I needed. What I ended up doing is spiraling and blowing the accounts. And I was trading on a day that I didn't even know was a bank holiday. It was 11/11, the Veterans Day. And I had no idea it was a bank holiday. So it hit all my targets. It went everywhere it was supposed to, but it went like this because I was trading algorithms. I had no idea. So I made a rookie, I'm a new trader. I made a dumb mistake. I gave up the accounts instead of just taking a loss or maybe taking a $700 loss.
Yeah.
And coming back fresh tomorrow. I blew $21,000, which would have paid back everything that I've ever put into trading.
Oh my God.
So that's when I really locked in, and I was like, all right, December, if I don't take a payout, I'm done trading until I learn, and I will paper trade my way into profitability before I take another trade on a prop firm. And I really buckled in on my risk management, and I gave myself a $500. You either make $500 and you get out, or you lose $500 and you get out. And I think a lot of my problem is, and a lot of the way that I actually blow accounts is I'll make $1,000, I'll make 1,500, then I'll make 2,000. And I just think, oh, well, I've seen 5K in a day. I can make 5K. Money comes so quick. Let me just get one more. And then what happens is you find yourself $500 shorter than you had in your final profit. Or like, let's say you're up 1,500, you lose 300, and you're like, oh, well, let me just get back to 1,500.
Yep.
That's how I blow my accounts.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, it's a learning curve. I am still going through it. And I feel like I have, when it comes to trading, my personal life, my relationship, my stress, my everything, like just trying to find a good balance and make sure that nothing outside of your trading is affecting your trading emotionally too. So,
yeah. One of my rules is like that similar. Like if I wake up in the morning, didn't get a good night's rest for whatever reason, sick or kid kept us up or anything. If I'm not here 100%, then I need to not trade. I've broken that rule, and it usually ends up being a bad day.
Yeah,
we have to have those type of rules. Like for me, also in the morning, 3 strikes and you're out. If I get 3 red trades in a row, I'm done for the morning. I can come back in the afternoon and take a look. And then there's obviously the max loss in the day, which for me, the way that rule works is really simple. It's what's my best day ever. Divide that by 2, I'm in half, and that's my max loss on the day. So whatever, if your best day is $5,000, your max loss on the day is $2,500.
That's a good note. So, what would you say is like your downfall with trading? Do you still struggle with any of the emotional side of it, or?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, last year you
like 10 years in, 20 years in.
Trading 10 years.
10 years.
And that's why I always say that I don't think we're ever going to master fully our emotions, right? We just get better at picking up on signals ahead of time and being able to separate ourselves from the trade desk. The guy that I learned the most from, he was 20-year veteran in this. And I'll never forget the same day I lost $4,000 on Tesla, he had his biggest red P&L day on Tesla as well that same day. I was on options, he was on the equity itself, on the shares. And we were trading it the same way because that's who I learned from. And he also went on tilt. So we're not exempt from going on tilt. That's going to be a part of this forever. The difference is before you'd go on tilt, you'd probably blow a ton of money. Now we go on tilt, we catch it, we're like, oh, let me stop before this gets very ugly.
Yeah.
And that's the way I see it. Like for me, my kryptonite is probably still revenge trading.
Mm-hmm.
That one is still one that I fight, especially in the prop world where it's easy, right? Because it's like, at least for me, I'm like, okay, I don't care. The account had $5,000. I didn't lose $5,000. I lost 110, whatever the account cost me.
that's the tricky part. You're not losing, you're not losing the simulated money. You're only losing what you put into it.
Yeah, I lost what I put into it, plus the time that it took it to get there, which generally speaking, that's what hurts me the most, is the time that it took me to get there. But yeah, I mean, that's my kryptonite still. It's the revenge trading. It's I was up $1,500. Now I'm only up 1,000. Let me make that 500 back again.
Yep.
And then everything goes to crap. Where really you should be like, damn, I made $1,000. You know how many people work an entire 40-hour week and don't even make $1,000?
That's the thing about trading. You can make money so quick. You remember the winning trades, and you kind of just let go of the losing trades. It happened, you're upset for the day, but you don't remember like the losing trades as much as you remember that win.
Exactly.
So you go try to hit that win again, and then there's just so much that goes into it. It really is a lot. But this market, are you watching anything right now, or?
Yeah, I'm in a short here, not on this screen. Unfortunately, it's on this other screen against that.
You can go to the other screen and you can share it.
It's a different computer.
Oh.
It's
True.
my MacBook Pro. I'm short over there because it's a tournament I'm in, and I was up a little bit over $4,000 on the day on it. I'm trying to put some points on the board because I leave on Wednesday on a trip, and I'm not going to be able to trade all week on it. Just today, tomorrow, maybe Wednesday morning. So I'm being aggressive to the point where I'm either going to be a hero or a zero on it.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I like that short against there because you also have the SPY just got up here, tested VWAP, and
is this
Trading
View?
TC2000.
Oh, okay.
This is TC2000. I love it for charting equities. It gives you a ton of different tools that you can use for like teaching. And I used to run a Discord a few years back, and I used to use it for like our lesson time. And it just gives you so many tools. I love it. The scanners work fine, but really the charting software is amazing. I love it. Whoop, did I take over the show? Or did I freeze out?
Can you hear me?
There you go.
Okay. Oh, look, we're little icons on the bottom. Cute. Okay, sorry. Go ahead. What were you saying?
No. That TC2000, I used it a lot back when I used to run a Discord where we would do live trading and lessons and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
I just liked it a lot because you have a lot of tools. Also, I don't use it a whole lot, but you do have Fibonacci levels here on this chart, on this charting software. And I like Fibonacci levels as well.
How do you use the fib?
Okay, so it just depends what we're looking for. Like, for example, what do we do? Let's go back here to this day. It's a lot easier real quick. So on this day, we gap down a ton, right? So we'll run it from the prior day's close to that low right there. And now I'm going to see if we're going to bounce back into some zone where we might have resistance. We got the 38.2 fib. Yep, 38.2 fib right here. But that in itself is not enough for me to enter a trade. Generally speaking, I would be looking for something else to be there, like a resistance zone on the daily chart, or if VWAP was there. I don't just go off of one technical. I like to have at least a couple of technicals together, right?
Yeah.
So, for example, if I'm trading a bull flag, I would prefer that bull flag has VWAP involved in there somewhere, because now I'm going to have more players on the field. You're going to have more people there. Why? Because you're going to have the people that trade bull flags. You're going to have the people that trade the VWAP. And then you're going to have people like me who trade both. So the more players on that field, the more chances you have of that analysis holding. Because TA is a self-fulfilling prophecy. So you want more players on that field to fulfill that prophecy.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I just feel like the more you know, the more confluence you have. So I like to trade VWAPs at the same time. I like to pair like a time-based liquidity to either a session liquidity or a structural liquidity, and just shoot for the levels.
Yeah.
What competition are you doing right now?
It's another firm. Do you want me to mention it, or?
I think it's fine.
Okay, so I'm in the Tradeify the Grand Cup, and I'm just trying to place in the top 1,000 before I leave on this trip. So
where are you headed?
we're going to Orlando, Universal Studios, for my
cute.
nephew's birthday.
That's fun.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, it'll be a fun trip. A 4-hour drive. That part's not so much fun, but
Yeah.
it'll be fun when we get there.
Definitely not the fun part. Yeah, I'm also in a competition. I'm in the E8 competition, so that one's free to join. You don't have to do any costs or anything. And I'm in a short on Bitcoin. I've just been trying to pull myself out of that silver issue that I did.
You traded silver earlier?
I was probably like $600 from blowing the account just because I got into a trade on silver. And I didn't understand that there's all these fees and I don't know, like it doesn't put you in where you take the trade. It's got like different
You marketed into it?
I don't know what I just market. I don't know if I bought or sold, but I just pressed market and then I was immediately down $1,000.
Yeah. Because the spread is huge on it.
Yeah.
And the volume was super light.
That's what it's called, the spread. I was looking for the word and couldn't think of what it's called, but I don't understand that. I'm like, this is not my cup of tea. So we went back to Bitcoin and now we've pulled ourselves $4,000 out of the dumps and we're up 500.
So it's just the spread is just the bid and the ask. Like you have the bid at 1,000 and you have the ask
which
at
is kind of like
1,010.
options, I guess.
Huh?
Options and stocks, they all have like a bid and an ask.
Yeah, everything has a bid and an ask. Like even now NQ, you're at 29.65 on the bid, 29.66 on the ask. But the tighter the spread, you can mark it in. I mark it in all the time. But on things like, and that's what happened to me as well on silver, on things like silver, you got a humongous spread. You mark it in, you're instantly down and you'll blow up in the blink of an eye. That's
what I did. I was just like, I immediately closed it, took the $1,000 loss, and I was like, okay, let me try to understand this. I got back in, and then I was like, what the? Like, I left it for a minute. It was down like $1,500, and I was like, dude, there's no point.
Yep, that's it.
It's not my specialty. I don't know anything about like Forex and, those type of things. I don't trade metals. I barely trade stocks. I buy and I hold stocks, but futures is kind of my introduction to trading. And that's what I just feel most comfortable on. I understand it. I don't understand the other ones yet.
Yeah, definitely. I always tell everybody, if you're going to do anything, definitely buy good companies, hold on to them. Put 40% of your portfolio in VOO, S&P 500.
Right.
Just go to sleep, wake up in 20 years. You'll be rich more than likely.
Let's see if anything's. It's really just not doing anything.
Yeah, like it wants to dump there, but it's trying to hold on for dear life. It's trying to hold on so hard.
Here, I'm
trying to be patient with that short.
So I don't have much knowledge around the wedge thing, but
that's a bear flag?
This is a bear flag. So like, okay, so I see it's kind of doing this. Isn't it supposed to kind of come up and then it breaks a low, comes back, and then it's gonna like come down?
Yeah, pretty much it. A bear flag is just your bull flag in reverse. There's nothing else to it. You got your flagpole, which you drew there initially, and then you have your consolidation going on. If you break that low there, you should accelerate to the downside, at least that pivot where your purple line is at.
Here.
That could be like an area to add. Like one could get short inside of the flag. If you invalidate to the upside, you stop out. Right. And you could get a starter position inside the flag. You break that purple line, give or take. You could add to full size and then see if you extend lower, and you could always just trail your stop. So I am trading exactly that that bear flag. I'm only allowed one mini in this competition here, so I might just take it off here pretty soon. I'm just trying to pass by the skin of my teeth. Let's see. I would like to see that too. I'd like to see that 29,000 break down. If that could break down, that should accelerate to the downside.
I might just throw one on for funsies. A little late to the party, but Yeah, I think I'd love to see just overall today. I'd love to see a bigger sell-off. That'll help
Yeah, that'd be nice.
my Bitcoin short and everything else. So
I covered here because that's why I like having multiples. I should have been in like 10 micros so I could scale out, but I covered it here, another $1,000. So up 4,900 bucks in there, but
watch it just take me out. Watch me just give money back. It's fine. Teehee.
yeah, that was a little risky down there.
I know. Yeah.
But that was a bear flag. I mean, it hasn't broken down, so it's still a valid setup, but
I'm wondering
you
if
could go either way.
I should just it's fine. I was gonna say I should just give it room up here and then let it do its thing because it's definitely gonna take the lows.
Yeah, that would be your proper stop loss over those highs for sure, because that's where the pattern is going to get invalidated. And there'll be occasions where you'll break that briefly, it'll stop you out, and then it'll reverse and dump. You know, that's just the name of the game sometimes. That's why we manage risk. That's how we stay alive in this game.
Right. Yeah, I only put 1 micro on. Do you trade
good.
minis or micros?
I was in 1 mini here. I usually trade minis. Depending on the account, I'll have anywhere from 2 to 3 minis. If I can only have 1 mini, I typically will scale down to the micros. So I'll take on 10 micros, 5 to 10. I'll scale in or out of the trade. That way I can scale out of the trade. By scaling out, I'm able to, let a runner run, and that's where you get paid.
Right. Are you trading 50Ks, 100Ks, 150Ks?
This is a 50K account. I started it this morning. It wasn't easy. I blew the first one. I started it last night. I blew it. It's in the competition, so I reset it. And then this morning, I'm on my second account. We're up 4,900 bucks. We'll see how much more I need to make to try to qualify. But for now, I think that might be it for me today on it.
If you have your choice, are you picking up 100, 150s?
I like the 50s and the 150s. Those are my 2 favorite accounts by far. The 50s are easier to get payouts out of. The 150s do give you a little bit more breathing room.
Yeah.
So I generally have a mix of both those type of accounts.
Yeah.
Where back in February and March when I did really well, I was copy trading 15 accounts in sets of 5s, and they were all 50Ks.
Yeah. I know a guy who he'll pick up 80 to 100 accounts, all different props, and he just targets 50 to 100 bucks in each one.
Yeah.
And
there you go.
He's pulling in like 100K in a day, 150K. Just depends how many accounts he has. I'm like, wow. If only I had that kind of patience and yeah, maybe in the future, but not today. Because I see $50 and I'm like, what am I going to do with $50? I can like barely buy a coffee with $50.
Can't even put gas anymore.
Right. No, you can't.
It's like that. Like when I first started trading the props, I thought, oh, copy trading. I already know how to trade equities. I'm good at this. But I wasn't sure. I wasn't used to prop rules. So I struggled. And, I went from trading 1 account to trading 2 to trading 3. And then I only traded 2 or 3 accounts at a time for like a solid year, almost 2 years, before I finally got comfortable doing 5. I tried to do 20 accounts once. I was not comfortable at all.
I mean, it's definitely scary because it's not like if you lose $100, you're not losing $100. You're losing like $2,000, right?
For me, I look at it in that, not in that fashion, but in the time. It takes time and money. People sometimes think that affiliates get free accounts all the time. No, I buy pretty much 75 to 90% of my accounts. It takes time and money to build those accounts and get them up there to where you have, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 accounts, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I don't want to blow them in 2 or 3 days. Yeah. I'd rather, put 10,000 bucks in my pocket versus blowing them all up.
Yeah. Yeah. I've had a lot of realizations now after, trading for a year and a half. When I first started, I only knew you could trade 1, and then somebody told me you could copy trade. And that was the worst. I was like not profitable. And I was like, well, if I could just copy trade 5 accounts and make one payout, I get this much money. And that's not really how it works. You're not making money. You're spending 5 times as much money. You're not profitable. There's no point in copy trading if you're not profitable. So once I was making money and I was copy trading, I look back at it now and I'm like, okay, like a little iffy. We're not trying to copy trade unless we're profitable, because you're spending a lot of money doing that. Like at the end of the day, yeah, you're blowing like an account, but that account costed $110. So I'm spending $550 every set of accounts I blew. There was a point when before I took my payouts that I was like, because I had money from a restaurant that I sold back in 2023. So I wasn't working. I full-time put myself into trading, and I didn't really care because I was like, well, I'm not losing like 50 grand. I'm like spending $500. It's fine. You got to spend money to make money. And so I was blowing through props, but then sometimes I look back and I'm like, wow, wait, I blew 2 sets of accounts and then I passed my third. That's $1,500, you know? And in that perspective, it's really not the best to copy trade, but copy trading, there's power behind it when you're profitable.
Exactly. That's exactly what I told people.
Target that 2 grand a day. You could just have 5 accounts and target 300, 400, 200.
That's it.
You know?
That's it. That's exactly it. And that's what I always tell people. Like, if you're new, you know, like people watching, if you're new and you're not profitable, you haven't even reached, because there's people who've never reached a payout at a prop firm.
Right.
And I'm talking about they've been at it for 2 or 3 years and they never reached a payout. And they're worried about copy trading. Don't copy trade. Buy yourself one account, focus on that until you get your stuff in order and your process set. Otherwise, you're just gonna, like you said, you're gonna spend a ton of money.
Yeah. Okay, so advice, rapid fire. Pieces of advice for new traders. And yeah, let's talk about that. What would you advise people who are just getting into trading?
If you're just getting brand new into trading, forget about the get rich, the Lambo and all that stuff. That's all nonsense. That's not going to happen. Like, the chances of that happening for you within the next 6 months to a year is not happening. Like, you'd have to be a prodigy. You really would. Focus on paper trading, maybe trading the props. If you want a little skin in the game, you want to feel a little bit of emotions and see the props. Educate yourself. Learn about risk management. Be okay with making $50 a day. Hey, $50 a day. You're talking about, you know, a couple $100 by the end of the week. You know, like, that's extra money.
Yeah.
And the reality is, year one, don't be worried about making money, because you're probably not going to make money. Year one is worry about spending the least amount of money as possible. Year two, roughly the same. Year three, we could start to look at, let's break even. We're probably creeping on break even, right? You spend $5,000 in the year in props, you're probably making $3,000-4,000 in payouts. Maybe you make $5,000-7,000 in payouts. You're in that range. Year four, at that point, you should probably be looking at making some money, not replacing your income. Whether you make $40,000 a year or you make $140,000 a year, you're not looking to replace your income on year four. But at this point, you should probably be making a good chunk of money, something significant for taking extra vacation with the family, pay property taxes, whatever it is, braces for your kids.
Yeah.
From then on is when maybe you start making some significant money, but take it slow, because this is not, YouTube makes it look easy. It's not easy.
Right. Yeah, I'd say overall, just have a good relationship with risk and chart your trades so that you can start understanding where your issues are and correcting those. You know, if you're having a losing streak, learn how to walk away from the charts. You know, there's so many things that you learn about yourself when you get into this, but yeah.
Yep, you have to. You got to learn to walk away. That's for sure. Like, look, right now, on one account over here, I'm up, and this is a sim funded, so I'll request payout. I'm up on it, 2,090 on the day. I don't do this on any of my other ones, but on this one I do. I'm locked out of it. I use the Trade of 8 lock feature. I lock myself out for the day on that one.
Yeah. I started using the lockout further, like maybe like a year into trading. And I had to, it would make me mad because I'm like, I don't want to lock myself out. What if there's another trade? More times than not, I would just be walking around my house. I'd come back into my room. I'd see the chart, be like, oh, there's a trade. I'd get in there and I'd blow the account. And the lockout feature is so powerful. I feel like if more people use that, they would have less of an issue.
Yeah. Yeah, because
you'll feel like crap, but then, later you're going to look at it and the trade didn't work out and you're going to be like, yes. Like
it's exactly what you mentioned earlier about I made whatever, $1,500 on a day. I lost 500. Oh, but let me get back to 1,500. That happened to me a bunch of times in April.
It still happened.
Yeah. It happened to me a bunch of times in April. And these same accounts that I'm trading right now. And I was like, you know what? No, I'm not going to do that. At least on these, I'm not touching them again today. I'm going to put in for a payout tonight. I'm going to put a couple $1,000 in my pocket and I'm going to move on. And those are nice and safe. I'm not going to touch any other account, I don't think, today. I think the easy move is kind of done already. You got the SPY now here. I mean, if the SPY, I'd be very surprised to see the SPY break through this level easily, like a hot knife through butter. I'd be very surprised because that's previous support, was resistance here. Now we're testing it. If we hold it, we might see a little bounce, a little relief bounce. I think that level breaks. And eventually we get ourselves down here and fill this gap. But obviously not today. But I'd like to see this level hold. Maybe we get a little bounce, get back up in here to this zone and kind of close maybe like a doji candle on the day. We'll see what happens today. But yeah, like for me, the easiest trade is done. And I think it was the one that I took and I should have held on to it longer, which was this one right here.
Coulda.
That one was nice. That was a nice trade right there. I took it off right here. I took it off right there on that candle. Obviously it was on the NQ, but I took it off right in here. Then I scalped a little bit in here, and that was it for me. And yeah, even though I'm trading NQ, I watch the SPY a lot while I'm doing so.
Yeah, I don't trade it much. When I first got into trading, I would notice that whatever the market was doing, SPY was like, SPY's, no, that's not the one I'm thinking. YM is the one that I'd watch that in the beginning. And I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Like, it would be doing the opposite of what the market would do.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so are you more of like a technicals or fundamental?
Technicals, once like the A+ setup is always going to be for me anyways, when technicals and fundamentals align. So if I have a bearish setup and we got bearish macro news, that's going to be one where I'm going to take on size, and it's either going to be a big win or it's going to be, a max loss type of day, maybe even a little bit more. But I'll get extra risk on when you get both things aligning.
Yeah. And you trade crypto or you don't?
I do a little bit here and there. I have a crypto portfolio where I have my long-term crypto holds.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll take some small trades in it, kind of like even my retirement account. I'll take a small trade in it, but it's mostly buy and hold. So I like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, and then for funsies, like you mentioned earlier, I have ADA. Not ADA, that's Cardano. I have Jasmine. That's from those Sony people in Japan. Jasmine. I have some of that. What else do I have, Jesse?
Yeah,
I always buy crypto dips and winters. I always buy.
Yeah. I do you think it's gonna keep going down, or you think we've already hit the bottom?
I'd love it to go lower. I mean, I would love for it to go lower so I can buy more. Yeah, Bitcoin, Ethereum, ADA, Jasmine, XLM. What else do I have here? Those are my main ones. Then I have some other alts like Jasmine and Dot, Amp that I'm just holding on to and watching to see if I can get some ads on. But what was Bitcoin? Wasn't Bitcoin back under 70,000 recently?
Right now it's no, not recently. It's at 76 right now. It's at its lowest since it was at 80. I think it went up to 82, 83, something like that.
Yeah.
But I hold Bitcoin, Chainlink, Ethereum, Solana, XRP, Cardano. I have some memes.
Yeah. You
I
gotta
have
have some.
PayPay, Pudgy Penguins. I have Sui. I have Dogecoin and Troll. Troll is one that recently I've taken a liking to because while the whole market's down, this one's really not budging. I don't have a ton of money in any of those, but sometimes I'll just drop $500 on a meme coin and cash out at 1,000. But I don't really trade my crypto. I like to leave it. I like to buy and hold.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I treat my crypto. Just buy it, hold it, and wake me up in 15 more years.
Yeah. One day, just like retire me.
That's it.
I've been really, lucky to have gotten into it when I did because my cat is outside the door crying. Because when I was younger, I didn't know anything about it. I just did what somebody told me to do. And I think I cashed out like $80K.
Nice.
So he paid me roughly $200. At the time, it was like $12, $50, I don't know. And I cashed out $80K. It was $6,000 a coin. The following week, it went up to $20,000. So like, I didn't know anything about it. I obviously was kicking myself, but I wasn't kicking myself because I didn't have money. I was 20 years old. Maybe I was 23 at that point, 22. And so for me, like that was so much money. And I think like it could have been like 300 and something thousand.
Wow.
And I remember it just really hurting, but at the same time I was like, I can't be mad. I wouldn't have this opportunity otherwise. So when I understood, I started trading crypto coins and stuff like that. Then the whole market collapsed. I had a few $100s that got stuck in Binance. And I was like, whatever, like either this money will turn into something or it will turn into nothing.
Yeah.
And fast forward, the next pump was in 2020. And I logged in and it was probably like 15K. And I was like, it was a couple $100s.
Oh.
And I was like, okay, there's something here. So I cashed out. I had my mom invest. I asked her, I was like, can you please just put, 5K, just 5K in Bitcoin. She didn't do it. She put 200 in Ethereum. Fast forward, the next pump, that was 15,000. And
oh my God.
I had money in it as well. I didn't have a ton, but in 2022, I put my entire bank account, everything that I had left, which was like 40, 50,000, 30,000, something. And then the whole market crashed. And I was like, oh, we did something wrong. But I just trusted the process. I left it in. I watched that, like, I think it was around 35-ish. There was other stuff in different wallets, but my primary wallet, that was my whole bank account, was like 35. And I watched it go all the way down to 7.
Yep.
Over the years. And I was like, wow. And then I watched that same, 35 that went to 7 turn into 125.
Nice.
And now I'm just watching it and I'm like, all right, fast forward me a couple years.
Yeah, exactly. That's similar to my story with Bitcoin. It was a few $100. It turned into a lot. It went to nothing. I should have bought more when it was nothing.
Yeah.
I didn't. Then it, turned into a lot again. But I kind of tend to keep my crypto portfolio to like less than about 5% of my net worth or something like that. But lately I've been getting a little bit more aggressive with it, and it's fine. I want to, especially with the house paid off now, because you just never know. It goes nuts.
I mean, it's an asset class now. It is classified. They've passed the Clarity Act. They're like, you see it everywhere.
Yeah.
You can go buy stuff in public with it. The banks are taking it on. We just swept that low. And nice. Well, I wish I was in that. But yeah, like I just think it's not going anywhere. whatever. It's not, there's nothing backing it. There's no company behind, like there is company and technology behind it. But I just think that from everything that we've seen, and now it's like more regulated and safer to get into, I'm pretty bullish on it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, that's not going anywhere. Like it's not going to disappear.
Whatever, if it goes to zero, I still made money. I still made more money than I put into it.
Exactly.
So, you know, I'm not really losing anything, and I'm young. I can make it back. I don't really care.
That's exactly how I look at it as well. You know, it's not gonna disappear. It's not gonna go to zero. And if it does,
Right.
Everybody always is afraid about the world ending. You know, oh, the stock market. What if it crashes 80%? What if it crashes 90%?
Right.
Who cares, bro? That doesn't matter. Your dollar's gonna be worth nothing. You're gonna need food, ammo, and precious metals. Like, don't worry about it. Just keep investing. You know, it's
That's what I'm saying.
Invest in good companies. Don't invest in garbage. I gotta run, but it's been a pleasure.
Yeah,
being here with you guys today.
Anyways, but thanks so much for coming on, guys. If you're watching, you want his social media, it's down in the bio. Yeah, covers it. Appreciate you.
No, same here. Take care, and maybe I'll catch you guys on another one of these days.
Yeah. All right. Take
Bye-bye.
care. Bye. All right, chat. Well, that was fun. Made a couple bucks today. I'm up $744. My little E8 account. I'm not really seeing too much more going on today. Let me see if I can share my screen. Howdy. All right. There are still levels below that I would like to see get taken, but just the way that we are being so melodramatic, I'm not really interested in taking any more trades today because I'm up and I'm not going to push it. But you know, we could come down, take these levels, relative equal lows down here. But other than that, I think I'm done for the day. So guys, we'll be on every day, Monday through Friday, about 6 a.m. to 8:30, 9 New York session. So am I full screen? I don't know. Let me see. Anybody have any questions in the chat before I go? I love how Adam's tuned in. Driving. To answer your question, Bella, I guess we're gonna end up doing giveaways. I think we'll work that out in the next day or two. So yeah, definitely tune in for the giveaways. We love that you guys are here tuned in. We would love to have you guys join us on that. Okay, I am full screen. Yeah. All right, I think we're wrapping up. Bye, guys. We'll see you guys tomorrow.